It's only Thursday night, fellas.
This show sucks.
I'm just saying. No.
Yo, I swear one of these days it's gonna start off right. I don't know what day, but one of these days we're gonna someone's gonna hit me up like, yo, what a flawless episode. That was fantastic.
There will be no such thing as a flawless episode ever.
Intro, Valiant, whatever.
Whatever. Go ahead.
I can't
something like
beatbox
that.
because I got the steak up my neck.
Yeah,
I can't beatbox anyway. I don't.
Anyway.
Oh, we
I'm
on.
trying.
Yeah,
We are on.
Are we?
Monty, go ahead and do the intro anyway.
Their
Man.
faces.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be back. Anyway, welcome once again. Thank you for showing up to another episode of Roti And Poutine. I am your host, the MC Armani Rain. With me is the T.R.A.C. the historian himself, MC Bubba, a.k.a. Valiant.
MC
And
Bubba.
we are here tonight with a very good friend of all of ours, 6-time DMC world champion, former allies, mentor to the soul.
What? Mentor
to the soul.
Record masseuse.
Record masseuse.
That guy's kind of dirty. Like, he's like rubbing the record.
Member of Cartel, also Tech Dubs. What else can we throw out there? Anyway, it's the one and only, the GOAT himself.
Dad.
DJ Craze.
Dad.
There you go.
Yes, he also has.
In his greatest role, Dad.
You'll see how I got my kids trained.
Oh shit!
As you can see, we are active early. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, man. It's good to see y'all. Let me shout out everybody, not everybody in the chat. Shout out for MJ moderating once again. Thank you, good sir.
MJ
building. All my regulars are popping through. Throw some fire emojis in the chat. I see y'all. Big up to Sugar Brat, who I will make you a moderator the second you step in this room because you have been putting down for all of us.
Is she officially like the head of promotions for Roti And Poutine now?
Feel
Is
like
that
she's
internal affairs?
Like,
Yeah, there we go.
She's definitely more important than we are at this point. You know so, shout out Sugar Brat. Shout out everybody who came through. Big love to everybody who's been sending me messages over the last week. I want to stop and appreciate every single one of you who sent me prayers and all that while I was going through whatever I was going through. But as you can see, I'm here. I'm chilling with this black thing around my neck. Look like I'm coaching football and shit. But I really appreciate it. But yo, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Craze, man, how you feeling, man? How's your quarantine been? Are you having a great time?
Yeah, I'm all right. yeah, I'm all right. I'm sipping. Everything's good. Like at the beginning of this, it was a real mind fuck. You know what I mean? But like, you know,
true.
Like everybody, I've adjusted to this whole new way of living. I want shit to get back to normal, but you know, just keeping it moving.
Cool.
Yeah, man. How you been? Oh, obviously.
I said I forgot the show. Honestly, that
besides your fucked up neck, how you been?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Why do you ask? I almost died last week. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay. It's another Armani.
Yeah. You know, I made some tunes that'll come out. Maybe the sales will go up after I go. I don't fucking know. Nah, man.
You become a legend.
You're nobody. Nah, man, I'm good. Just, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here. Family's been doing well. Week's been good. Just been doing this thing here. We watched you last night, as we do many other nights. You had your
we all jumped in that room and was popping.
First Wednesday of the month was drum bass night.
Yes, sir.
Laughing my ass off of how you just throw 4-hour sets around like it's nothing while people are that shit for money.
Word.
Yeah, I joke about it because like. You know,
he's a crazy like, yeah, I do.
yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Like, I am the shit. I know.
I'm accidentally dope.
You got dropped on me.
Yeah, man. I've been cool, man. Valiant, how you been? How was your week?
It's been all right, man. Just taking care of the senior dogs and finally got the art situation sorted for the next Semper single, and yeah, we're good.
Yes, I can't wait to show that to everyone.
So
it's rather nice.
That man's out here with
Thank you.
pen game on fleek right now.
Yeah, man.
That's the
But I tell you, I don't draw regularly enough where drawing feels fluid and natural anymore. So it was a struggle, but it's all right. I pulled through.
How about you, Track? How was your week, man?
Just chasing a little girl around and potty training and going through all the things
Your child.
that I really can.
I was about to say, what?
You gotta be real specific nowadays.
Yeah.
What kind of chat am I on? Like, what's
I had a pretty
Jack, you cannot
specific
use too
moment
much
today
toilet
that traumatized me, but it's all good. We still live it. Yo, cheers, everyone. Cheers. Pour up a little bit more of this piece.
See, you got to get the handheld shower. That way you can just hose the kid off when you need to. I'm telling you.
Yeah, get chased around by the GF, but I'd do it. I would.
Craze gotta ask you, what's your bucket list food, man? Roti and Poutine is the number one question we ask. It's pretty much the
bucket list food?
Bucket list food. If you were gonna die tomorrow, what would be the thing you were like, yo, can I eat that before I go?
Fritanga is like a Nicaraguan food. Yeah, it's my favorite shit, and it's like pre-COVID. When we used to travel,
funny.
I know, right?
What's wrong with us?
Gallows humor.
Every time I would come back from a gig, that's the first place I would go to, just because it's like a routine, and like it's just my favorite food. It's Nicaraguan food, and
did you name a particular dish or a restaurant?
It's fritanga is the whole thing. It's like fritanga monimbo, we call it. It's like they're all over Miami, and they're all called fritanga monimbos, and then they have their own specific name. But it's just basically like a Nicaraguan spot. It's like saying McDonald's, but for Nicaraguans. You know, fritanga monimbo.
I feel like you just ruined whatever.
I think I did. It's not McDonald's. It's really good Nicaraguan.
What do you eat? Like
char-grilled pork, char-grilled pork,
Let's get the
tortillas with gallo pinto. Gallo pinto's rice and beans, and it's just like the way Nicaraguans make it. It's way different from like Cubans, Puerto Ricans, and all that shit.
Sure.
So yeah, that would be my bucket list food. And there's this thing that Nicaraguans make called, it's the name of the place where you get it, raspados lolis. It's a dessert, and it's like crushed ice with like pound cake and what the fuck is that called? Leche condensada. Fuck.
Condensed milk.
Yeah,
dulce de leche, that kind of thing.
Dulce leche, kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
Dulce leche with pound cake and ice, and it's just the best shit ever.
I've been on the road with this man for a decade. I still can't speak Spanish.
Well, we never spoke Spanish.
Sometimes, every now and then, you get into a conversation and with someone else, and I would just stand there.
Oh, you got some Latinos in the chat. All right, you got some Latinos in the chat. Word.
Or if we went to like a Spanish-speaking country.
Bigoron, who the hell?
I was just,
Merv Vegas. Word, he knows what's up. Bigoron. Word.
all right. Big up everybody in the chat. Hey, Valiant, what food? What did I laugh because you're gonna tell us what horrible food you have? What did you eat today?
Oh man, I know it's a simple thing. It's actually not a dish or anything, but I had like the best mango I've had in years today. It was just one of those perfect mangoes, which are notoriously hard to find, and it just kind of took me back to when I was a little kid. Because that was like my favorite thing when I was a little kid. And I was like, holy shit, it smelled and tasted exactly like what I remember when I was a kid. So like for like 5 seconds, you know that scene in Ratatouille when he eats the ratatouille and then he goes back to being like a little kid for a second in his head? Anyone know what the fuck I'm talking about?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever watched Ratatouille? Because I mean, if you
the movie, yeah, absolutely.
Kind of, yeah.
So when Ego,
the little mice.
Yeah.
Right.
So when Ego goes to review the restaurant again, and like, you know, the rat makes him the ratatouille.
Yeah,
he takes a bite.
The ratatouille moment. You're right. I apologize.
Okay, right. So I had a ratatouille moment where I went back to being a kid when I had that mango for a second. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Still don't know what the hell he was talking about. What's
Now you got it. That's gonna be one of those like we just happen to watch Ratatouille at 4 a.m. or something. Yo, this is what this is.
Ratatouille.
Well, you know I ain't seen it.
Hold on, wait, you guys.
I love Ratatouille. The movie.
Anybody that has not seen that movie needs to go watch that movie after this.
It's the mice one, right? It's the
the rats.
Please
Hence
the rats.
name
Okay.
Ratatouille.
As a New Yorker, it's kind of hard to watch Ratatouille. So
it's Tui, for fuck's sake.
I can't pronounce it. As you can tell, I can care because there's a rat
Move on.
involved.
I never watched that Rat-a-tat-tat movie before. No, you should watch that movie. It's good. It'll
5 minutes into this podcast and have already fallen to a terrible descent. Track.
Why am I even here?
Every guest
doing me a favor.
Why am I here? I don't even.
What's that? Public enema? Is that public enema going on?
Public enema. Broccoli Obama.
Track. What did you eat today? God damn it.
Very outside the box. The GF got to busyness and fried up some rice with a bunch of vegetables, and it was banging. And then I talked about that tart I was telling y'all about. I don't know what it is, but this pear tart is amazing.
And not find out what it is to tell us.
I don't know, man. It's just it's something special, man. That's all I can say, bro. It's
cool.
Pear is a highly slept on fruit when it comes to dessert. Pear is.
Yeah, I just figured this out. So Roti and Poutine is a food?
Yeah. No, I'm just
Roti.
What?
What is
Roti? Roti.
First of all, if you go to any Jamaican spot, roti is a flatbread. It's a very flaky flatbread.
Yeah,
poutine is of the Canadian national delicatessen.
It's like French fries, but special.
So not only Track and I are both Guyanese, believe it or not.
Right.
Because we are of Caribbean West Indian descent, where our favorite food is naturally roti. My bucket list food. We don't say that anymore because if we said it every week, that would be stupid. We just need a podcast. But my bucket list food is some roti chicken. Please, if you have.
Oh, roti chicken, right? Duh. Yeah.
With some dal puri roti too. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Some plantain on the side. Oh man. Anyway, so that's
Caribbean food. Caribbean food all day.
It used to be called Rapper Talk. Also, the play on words is if you do R-A-P, it also spells rap. There's many levels.
We are clever.
We are the
I got that.
Hashtag.
We are the cleverest podcast around.
Anyway, but now that we've gotten past the food,
He likes the soup. Ratatouille moment.
We've gotten past the food part of the issue, man.
That is the longest we've ever spent on food.
Yeah.
It was. Sorry. Go ahead.
For some strange reason, I can't leave it.
Oh God.
So how's it been, man? Let's see. Let's go through the motions. You are the DJ Craze. I'm not going to ask you how your Nate got your name because that's stupid. You can tell
we will get asked for the night side. You know that's coming. You know that.
If you look at the chat, someone's going to ask you. But who was like your? I already know the answer. But who was your earliest influence?
Earliest influence on just what, like DJing?
No, just like going outside and cooking.
DJing, all the Miami-based DJs were my first influence. Like DJ Laz was my number one. But fuck him now. I was kidding. I got into a little thing with it.
Almost ruined my computer.
Nah, like when this whole thing started, bro, like it was weird. And then when the whole riot started, shit got more weird. And he was one of those guys like just posted constantly about what the protesters are doing and like why are they ruining shit. And I was just like, oh, word, you do know somebody got killed by a cop.
I haven't heard you mention that once.
Right. And then he got into like this whole thing about we need police and police are your friends. If he wouldn't have been doing something, I was just like, bro, unfollow.
Yeah.
One of those guys. So I was just like, but he was my early influence.
Sweet.
Before COVID. That's good. We would say this all night. Before COVID, everything was great.
Before
Friends. True story. You know, I've unfollowed many people. A lot of people have shown some weird colors. It's just been weird. It's been weird, but
filter them out.
I filter all, like I don't have nobody in my feed or nobody hits me up that is a Trump supporter anymore. Like last night, I had like a little moment where somebody said something, and I was like, "Oh, you're banned." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want those people around. Like, I'm not even trying to be like politically correct. I don't care if it hurts my money. I'm fuck Trump all day. Fuck racism all day. Fuck
You're
all
safe
that.
here. We're fine.
Oh yeah.
No.
You're not going to get any pushback from us.
But it also goes to show, like, before COVID, everybody for some reason was able to stand everybody, be in the same clubs, the same spaces, dance. In some cases, you went off with some girl, and nobody bothered to know about what people's beliefs or mindsets were at the time of just hanging out, which says a lot now that today's time is much more humanity driven and with a big overtone of politicalism, right? So I think that's what the problem is, that people see the political and they're trying to mix it with what the humanity level really is of what's going on. And everybody's saying this and then saying this and then saying it's not an even feel, because not everybody's on the same page right now.
I can take it even deeper than that, because I would also like to implant that I think all of us agree too. Like, not only was it like that, but it hit even harder because we're an underground community built on acceptance and cultural gatherings and becoming a mixing pot.
Absolutely.
So when you turn around and you find out that all these people's morals are like way left, you're like, wait, what are you even doing here with the rest of us trying to make a better tomorrow while you think it's okay to kill black people? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm being extreme, but you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand how you can support such ideologies when you've been
exactly, Monty. And that's, for me, that's the number one thing. Like, when people start talking politics, I'm like, I don't give a shit about the left or right. Fuck whoever's on the left. Fuck him right now. I voted for Obama twice, but he still was a douchebag because of his policies that he did. Like, all presidents are douchebags. There's never been a president that I liked. Obama spoke well, and I voted for him twice, but he still did a lot of fucked up shit. But when people say, when they bring up politics, I'm like, nah. Like, there's certain people that are shitty human beings, and I don't fuck with them. That's it. For me,
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
For me, it's like, I don't care if Trump has done the greatest shit to this country. He's a piece of shit human being.
Right.
So I can't rock with people that rock with him. It's the same thing in EDM. Bonnie, there's a lot of people I don't like in EDM, so I don't rock with them.
All right now.
You could just DM me the list and I'll read it.
I'm about to ask Bonnie if he got vodka hidden right now.
Let me just finish that vodka. We'll talk about that. No, but Monty, I've always been like that. Like, if I don't rock with somebody, I don't rock with that guy, and I don't rock with everybody around him. Like, that's how I am. I'm very like.
You know what I'm saying? We've always been that way. I've told people many times, it's like, I only MC with people that I can sit down and chat with. That's why we have this show to begin with. It's like, I've had legends that when I first got into drum and bass, who I looked up to for years, and then I met them, and I was like, holy shit, you're an idiot. Like, I don't ever want to be near you ever again.
Yes.
Don't meet your heroes. That's as the old saying goes. It's true.
So it is what it is, man. Like,
it's just like, if you're a cool dude, everything is great. If you're a piece of shit, I don't want to rock with you.
It's been hard for me to reckon this whole thing, because clearly, dance music in general, house and techno and drum and bass and stuff is like born out of racial and class and sexual identity struggle.
Absolutely.
Seriously, like, marginalized people in general gave birth to the stuff that we listen to every day. And especially, if you like hip hop at all, it boggles my mind that people can be, they can love black culture and love black things and, still treat the black community at arm's distance at best. And
or even side with people that don't respect black people and black culture,
or even just to doubt, where some of these people are coming from, like they're casting any kind of doubt. Well, look, I mean, obviously, the drum and bass world lost a fucking MC to like his views.
God, that is beautiful.
Sorry,
beautiful, sir. I love that. Trust me. Go ahead.
I knew when I invited Craze on here. I knew.
But what I'm saying is, like,
way we're gonna get through this whole podcast.
When we see people like actually that are members of the musical side of things, and they are revealing their true colors, it's just a crazy fucking thing. It's like, what the fuck? It's like they live. Like, you put the glasses on, you can see who the lizards are. like they're slowly emerging, man.
Again,
shit, people are naming people in the chat. Oh no.
No. The chat got his own thing going on while we throwing bricks and chairs and stuff.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it.
The Inquisition is in the chat. Like, let's settle it now.
It's going down in the chat room. But so like not a defense, but just slightly, just bringing it back forward. Like I said before, the whole we didn't know who was who. You know, we've got drinks for people. We got people behind in VIP. They was all. I think that the underground was this community of where people could not put up with what things they had to deal with on a regular basis from all sides of the spectrum, and they came there with maybe that intent until this should happen to just turn into whatever it is. It reared its end. In other words, they were always living in these situations in their own personal time. And then they would come to these communities because they saw something that maybe they're not used to. I would not be surprised going back maybe 10 years that there was some white folk who never seen a black person in the community. You know what I mean? Or maybe not got as close to them. Or maybe they see the hat back and now they think everybody black wears a hat back or a certain gear. And they have these things until they got to know the person. You know what I mean? You know, and I think everybody had like certain ideas and stereotypes. And the underground community was keen on breaking those stereotypes when everybody was in the same space and learning about you. You know, you liked a certain artist. Craze is my most favorite artist. And then somebody goes, so where are you from? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And it's these kind of things. Yes, the question feels awkward, but they're trying to figure out at the very least. That's the one thing we can all like pat ourselves on the back for breaking a bit. But what we don't expect is the shit to just rubber band on some slap back. Everything that you just went through for the last couple of years, all of a sudden is forgotten simply because we can't go outside anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Absolutely. So I just wanted to rant on that. Yeah.
Look, man, I've been fortunate enough. I do two things here when I look at these: is we can attack those people directly. There's people who I try to guide because I believe that that's not even truly how they feel. The media has made people a little standoffish. The media has made people think that they're being attacked. There's a large group of people who defend other people because they are told to feel like there's been an attack on them. Just because we scream Black Lives Matter, that doesn't mean that we hate white people. Like that needs to be explained to some.
Well, I hate one, Trump.
There's people out. There's people who there's the group of people that don't like their peace interrupted, which we just have to tell them like sometimes the world isn't comfortable and wake up and deal with that. It doesn't make our problems less. And if you cared about us, then it's not a shut up and dribble type thing. There's many different ways to look at it, but let's dial it back in a little bit. Hey, Ja Duke Luke, thank you for the follow. But to bring it back in for a little, and it's kind of in the same vein. I've learned more, and I've told you guys my 2020 mantra is to process new information and adjust. And I can easily slip to that because of the person that's in this room right now. I've said it in my Instagram chat that this man's responsible for 80% of 3 separate passports. So there's no way in the world I've traveled the entire world and met all kinds of people from all different walks of life and not have a different perspective than someone who's been sitting in whatever the fuck America their entire lives and doesn't realize there's a whole world out there. So
that really is a thing, right? Like that really. I was watching today on Netflix what the fuck people that got away, right? Like murderers that got away that did the most wildest shit, right? And there was this one guy from Rwanda, was the guy that they made the movie about. Anyways, this motherfucker made black people kill each other. The Tutsis were getting slaughtered. They got like fucking. It was a genocide over there because the
Hutus and the Tutsis,
yeah. So like he convinced people that these people were horrible and they were eating humans and boom boom. My point is like when you feed fear and ignorance and hatred, you can get away with tons of shit. And that's why And I was just looking at that and I was just like, damn, it really comes down to like brainwashing the people that Mani was saying that don't travel the world, that are stuck in their little block. And like, they're just so like, they don't know what's out there. So then when somebody like Trump or anybody fills them up with all this fear and anger and ignorance, and just like, that shit is a powerful thing. It happened with the Nazis. It happened with, it's been happening over and over in humanity. And like people
mostly, it's the most powerful when it's closed information, when the information is and you can't and they don't know, and they just don't know. And the best,
so this guy in
the
Rwanda,
most powerful thing Trump ever did was scream fake news, because then that eradicated any information from that.
That's it.
Now you couldn't look far, you couldn't look near. It didn't make a difference. Nothing was real. You don't know who to trust anymore. Everybody.
And that's on the checklist on how to become a dictator. That's on the checklist on how to like rule the masses. Like this guy in Rwanda, his most powerful weapon was the radio, because at that time, that's where everybody got their information.
Oh, yeah.
So he was on the radio, like just fucking filling these people's heads with like the dumbest shit, like that they were eating other humans, and that, you know, it's like this QAnon shit, like just spilling out the most outlandish shit that these people that don't travel past their whole block.
So you don't believe
it makes sense to them. No, I don't believe in QAnon.
The Hutus blamed the Tutsis for, especially Tutsi rebels, for a plane crash that killed the Hutu president. And yeah, it was through radio propaganda, especially because Rwanda is very poor. A lot of this stuff really takes root amongst the more poor and uneducated, which is why I have to say it's taking root in America with Trumpies. But he was, basically saying like outlandish things, like accusations of cannibalism, things like that, and to the point where, like, you know, the most of the killing of the nearly, some people estimate between 500,000 and 1 million people in the span of 3 months, was done neighbor to neighbor. Like neighbors would literally walk into their neighbor's house and
with
hack
machetes.
them and their children to death with a machete or a baseball bat or an axe or, cricket bat. You know, and it's seriously, I mean, they don't have baseball bats, but they have cricket bats.
Yeah.
And like whatever they can get their hands on, because they didn't really have firearms. So it was like the apex of a huge civil conflict between the two tribes. And what's crazy is now, if you look at Rwanda, there are people who live side by side every day as neighbors, where like they know their neighbor might have killed their wife or their child or their father or whatever. And like they had to go through this weird nationwide like period of forgiveness. And like it's mind-boggling.
It's really mind-boggling. And to tack onto that, there's a lot of us who saw this coming in this nation, and a lot of us who have been waiting for the tipping point for the same thing to happen here, because that's really what it's come down to. It's become so volatile here that we're just waiting for it to look, man. It's a joke, but it's not a joke. I remember Common being on Jon Stewart, and when he was doing the movie Selma, and he was talking about it. And the one thing that stuck out to me the most, not even something prolific, it was just a simple fact that he was like, look, man, everybody's talking about how tired we are talking about this. Like, we're tired of talking about it too. Like I want to move on from this just as much as anyone else does. That's just not the reality of the situation. You know?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Nothing changes.
No.
Nothing has changed. Like I was looking for a sample from a James Brown record the other day, and like I found the sample. It's the vibrations from Stakes is High. So in the beginning of that whole song, James Brown is just talking about the shit that's going on right now with cops.
Yep.
Like nothing changes. Like
yeah, absolutely.
It's like sometimes I feel like saying that because I'm just like, when something happens, everybody wants to be like the fucking social warrior on Twitter and fucking Instagram, and everybody's saying their piece. And I'm just like, that's cool, but like nothing's gonna change unless we actually do something. So just address it and keep addressing it. Don't get bored of it.
Right.
it's not, it hasn't gone away. I get it. It's a bad vibe. It's all about good vibes only now. I get it. But things never change because of that. Because people, they're like, oh, no, I can't deal with all this drama. No, it's like you have to deal with this shit for things to change. And people don't want to deal with it.
It's there's a comfortability there, and those people who are, they're very important to the whole thing. We all, like, I've said this before with these guys. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I've always said it just feels like we were all fooled in the end because we were all told you just do better, move along, don't worry about this nonsense. You do better, you're good. And we're all pretty old right now, and look how crazy it is.
What's funny about that is that was something we did. That we weren't told that. We did that as a community. We turned around and we as a community, especially our generation and the generation after us, and said, yo, let's just be positive from here on out. The music changed. If whatever you want to talk about, the kids that were coming up making music and you hated it and it sounded like blah, blah, blah. One thing they were doing is they stuck together and they talked about having a good time. We stopped fighting on the internet as much. We were all positive everything. We talked about good vibes and the laws of attraction. We pushed that narrative. So then when you turn around, and we've been doing that for years and years, and then we get locked in our houses, and then we watch a black man get killed by a cop by putting his neck into his knee into his neck for 9 minutes. And we were like, yo, we've been cool this whole time, and you've learned nothing. So that's it. It's like, all right, I'm done now. Like, you know what I mean?
But think about that, Monty. Like, why? Because some people thought that they had it better than the others. They didn't feel they need to bring it up because it doesn't affect them, or in some form they thought it didn't affect them. Now, we all ain't got no choice, and this has been the elephant that's been sitting in the room, old as fuck, and stinking up the space with all kinds of shit hitting people in the face. And now we look.
What's crazy is that, like, this what Craze was saying earlier. It's people don't want to face reality. They want to stay in their own bubble, and it's like obviously anybody who's listening to this and is of a certain age is gonna be like, "Yo, the Matrix, red pill, blue pill." What's crazy is that, like, the right wing views it the same way. They view it as a red pill, blue pill as well, and like, oh, you've got to actually open your eyes to see the reality. But their reality is literally the opposite of what anybody who is in any kind of marginalized community sees as their reality. Like, they see it as they are casting this big wide net of a lie. And that, like, the media is buying in, that everybody else who's a liberal is buying in, as if it's this weird kind of, what is it? Trump derangement syndrome? Like, it's that.
They got a name for that? That's what it's called for real?
Well, there's Trump derangement syndrome, which is like, Trump, everything Trump does is fucking fantastic. But like, it's the opposite. It's like the left wing. Oh, everything that the president does is wrong. Everything that white people does is wrong. Blah blah blah. Like, they view the other side literally in that same sort of lens. Like, we are somehow the ones that are living in the Matrix, and they're the awakened ones. It is fucking bizarre.
It goes back to
with both sides. With both sides.
It's both sides. 1,000%. It's both sides. It's pathetic to watch both sides. It's tiring. It's fatiguing as hell. I've said a million times, if there was anything I can change in this country outside of destroying the two-party system completely and rewriting the Constitution, besides those two little things, if there was anything I could make mandatory, it'd be that the second
ayahuasca.
Yeah, facts. I haven't done that, by the way. Not that I wouldn't.
I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I'm not kidding at all.
Yeah, I'm not kidding at all.
But in the same thing that isn't so committing.
That was the personal.
I feel like everyone that leaves high school or college or whatever you do when you finish education, you should spend 2 weeks abroad. A month possibly, but 2 weeks is probably a little more realistic. I think it should be mandatory that you leave and go somewhere else. You'll gain such a different perspective. If there's, as much as Obama's done great or wrong or yada yada yada, the most important thing Obama ever did in my eyes, as someone who traveled the world with this guy right here and had a lot of conversations with people who looked at us like, yo, you Americans ain't as bad as we thought. Obama fixed our perception to the world of who we really are.
He put us on the front stage, yeah.
All of our arguments that we're having right now through these elections, the world has a lot more pity for what we're going through because of the last 8 years with Obama. Because of that situation, it changed the entire world's perception that we weren't just a bunch of gun-toting, police the world type people. You have no idea how strange it was, Crazy, and I'm sure you can talk to this. You still travel the world. You're out and about on a regular basis on how much different that was speaking to people.
Yeah. And I mean, as much as Obama changed it, he really didn't change that much, because as soon as, like, you know, an ignorant American travels abroad, like, they feel like they own the world. And that still happens. Like, I still see it every time I travel. I still see the entitlement of Americans. You know what I mean? Like, they get pissed off for standing in line. They get pissed off for, like, just regular shit that it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
now that I live outside of the United States, I see it so much more clearly now.
Go to miss it, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna miss that slam.
Dude, my question there is, does it feel like they're the majority? That's what I feel like even as I'm asking the question, I could just see the arrogance of America. Like, yeah, fool, that's us.
All right, well, hold on. There's two kinds of American quote unquote arrogance that you find abroad. And like I said, now that I'm on the other side of the fence, literally, I see it really clearly. There is the arrogant American who, like, thinks America is the greatest country on the earth. We are the greatest.
It is.
It's American exceptionalism. It's like American exceptionalism is a real thing with conservatives. Then you also have Americans who aren't like that at all, but they do have American, for lack of a better word, please don't. Yes, thank you. Privilege. Like, they're American. They're used to living an American lifestyle.
I've had that.
They see things through, like, a different lens, and they just are unaware, and so they're complete clueless, kind of bumbling, even if they're well-meaning kind of people. And I'm sure I've been that person, but it's like, you know, that kind of happens with almost all Americans, unless that American is very well traveled.
Yeah,
and they've been around the block.
All of our next visits to customs, they're going to be like, step to the side, sir. We're all going to be like, I never. What do you mean, step to the side?
I'm American. Look at my red, white, and blue underwear.
Ayahuasca.
Hey, man. Let's see. Let's go through the many accolades. 6-time DMC champion, 3-time back-to-back. Any more since then? You going back?
Nah. I mean, shit, I would love to, but ain't no money in it. I would love to, just because I like to, like, come up with shit. I'm still a b-boy when it comes to, like, DJing. I like coming up with shit. Like, if somebody would pay me for me to just sit down in that studio and come up with routines all day, if somebody were to pay me to do that, bro, I would do that shit all day.
Dude, to see where you've taken routines, from someone who's traveled with you from way back in the day, and watch your routines then, or even go back and watch the DMC battles, like in the super high definition 8-bit videos. To watch the stuff you do now with technology involved, man, is like mind-boggling. Like,
I do have a question, technology related. When it comes to the DMC championships nowadays, what has the format changed since the introduction of, like, Final Scratch and all that stuff? I mean, how does that work? Because honestly, I haven't paid attention to it a lot since Vinyl kind of made that transition. Well, yeah. So how does it work nowadays?
You can use DVS, and you could use, like, the new mixers with the Q points, but it still has to be 2 12s. It still has to be like 2 1200s.
Needle on the record.
Yeah, but I think they were going to change that too. I think maybe last year.
Seriously? Are they? Because there's that thing now you can put right in the record, right? That little rectangle.
Phase, but with phase, you're still using the record, right? So it's not like.
Yeah, but the needles don't jump. I mean, it seems.
Yeah, but the needles don't jump with DVS.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the needles don't jump. And like that. Needles were a bitch.
I was gonna say, pretty much, if you can make it work, you can make it work.
Well, if you can make it. But for me, like, I don't care what people use. It's the creativity that I want to see. You feel me? Like, I don't care. Like, when, like, there was a submission we had for the Goldie Awards, and this guy was murdering it on the CDJs. And not that it's a huge thing. It's just that nobody does it. So when me and A-Trek are watching this video, we were like, look at this guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he's fucking killing it. Not just, using the cue points or whatever. He was cutting with the plates and all that shit. And we were just like, yeah, man, this is tight. So for me, it's all about the skill of it. You feel me? Like it's never been about like what, like 2 turntables in a mixer. Nah, fuck that. I hadn't made a new routine in like 5 years until Tractor sent me that new controller. And then I was just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And they were just like, we don't know, you're crazy. And I was just like, all right, give me a week. And I came up with some crazy shit. And then that opened up my mind to like, oh, fuck. Now I'm gonna start making more routines because I'm not limited to just 2 turntables and a cue and the 2 up and downs. Like, for me, like technology is ill. Like it makes me like go buck.
And not to blow your head up, because fuck you all day. But I tell people you're the GOAT, and the main reason why is because you have single-handedly ruined anyone else scratching for me. I can't enjoy that shit at all. I people on the radio, and I love everyone in Atlanta, big up, but stop scratching on the radio. That shit's annoying. Every time somebody's on, like, and the new DJ, and I'm like, that shit is
okay. But you see, this is what I tell people, and it's not even about me, right? It's about people that know how to scratch well, know how not to do it in an annoying way, right? Because like I could hear Premier scratch all day.
His tricks is slick,
because it's funky. Yeah. It's like a swingy, funky, dope. Like there's soul there. I could see D-Style scratch all day because it's not mechanical. It's not a robot that's scratching. It's a fucking human, and his swag and his like his drunken style is so nuts. Even Q, like
who
the shit that I know, right? The shit, the shit that goes over people's heads, but I understand it. That shit is amazing to me because I'm like, yo, like this guy is not like everybody else. And I love that shit. When I see somebody that's a complete original, like that shit, it just blows my mind. And the way he does it and the technicality with being funky, knowing how to imitate a robot, knowing how to give you that drunken style where it's just like, it's all offbeat, but it makes sense. Like, I could go on for days about that. But yeah, with people that say that scratching is annoying, they're watching the wrong people.
Right. That's all I was saying. That's why I get to big you up and one.
As drum and bass MCs, we agree.
Say word. We spoke about that before the podcast started. Anyway.
And that's why people generalize scratching like that. Yeah. Nobody says, I love going to the club and hearing some scratching. Not anymore. Because most of the people that do it in an annoying way. And, some of my boys are annoying when they start scratching in clubs. Like,
who?
No.
Oh, no.
But I was going to say, are there any turntablists you'd like to talk shit about right now?
No, don't do that. You guys are crazy.
That's the cool shit about being me. I could talk shit about turntablists all day and they don't get surprised. They're like, right, it's Craze. Like he talks shit all day.
Hold up, before y'all guys go on, I want to just go back in time. I've had light talks with Monty about this. It was my first time ever seeing the Monty action. And he happened to be hosting for you, and it was at the spot in DC. Maybe it was like 99, 98.
Oh shit!
And you guys were in a boxing ring
Club
in
5, DC.
Right.
Oh shit! I remember that.
Oh, so I was there to with Action. We had a show the next day, so I was there a day early. He's like, "Yo, you want to go check Craze?" And I didn't even know I didn't even know that Amani was on the bill. But that's not even the point here. The point of the matter is, I'm on the side, and I'm witnessing what was about maybe 2 hours worth of like the most perfect shit I've ever heard in my life. I was looking at Action like, "Yo, how the fuck is he doing this? This is impossible. It's impossible." And we literally went walking around trying to figure out. And then one of the things we found out is that you were already ahead of the game because Serato just came out.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Right.
And I was like, "Oh, Serato," because we heard other people use Serato, but I never heard anybody at the time use it. Like, I don't know how to say it. It was just dead on. I was calling it the God set for like a couple of weeks for afterwards because I was just, and Armani was jumping in the crowd was jumping with him, and it was just like, yo, this is the best party I may have ever witnessed in my life right now.
Two funny
You know what I
things
mean?
about that night. One of them, you made me remind something else that I'll bring up. But the first thing is why I remember that night so much. I don't remember the end of it for obvious reasons because I don't think Craze and I remember the end of any night. Except one other thing that I'll bring up later. But I remember that whole setup being so fucking sick that there was just boxing ring in the middle of. But what was super
oh my
trippy,
God, yes.
neither one of us knew that was going to be the setup until we were on our way to the club. And they just dropped this random ball, like, oh, by the way. And we were like, wait, what? And,
yo, that was always the dope shit pre-internet, pre like Instagram and all that shit. It was fun to go somewhere and be surprised. I'm not just talking about the venue.
Never knew.
It was just good to show up and you're just like, what the fuck? This is a crazy ass festival in the woods. And you know what I mean? Like just like random shit. Like now it's like, you know where you're going. You know how it's going to look.
15 after movies from the.
Yeah, it's like,
that's dope, not dope, but it was a little different.
I remember there was a time, Monty, when I used to tell Mihai, don't tell me where I'm going. You know what I mean? Like just because he used to buy my tickets and I was just like, yo, don't tell me where I'm going. I don't want to hear about it until the day of or whatever. And he was like, all right. And I'd just be like,
until that advice bleeds over one day and Denise doesn't tell me I'm playing at a ski resort in Argentina and to bring a coat.
Exactly. I was going to say, until those where it's like, no, fool, you're going international. You need your passport. I'm like, oh, fuck. You should have told me. You said not to tell you. It's like, oh, fuck.
Dude, so much fun. You said not to tell you. Really trippy story. Segueing, Valiant taught me how to spell that. Anyway, segueing into the whole technology conversation. I actually, when we put up the announcement that you were going to be on the show, I had somebody hit me up in a private chat from France saying that he remembered seeing us back when we played a festival in France with like Groove Rider and Dynamite MC. I remember it was like crazy graffiti on the walls and super black.
I think I remember this.
It was the hottest party I think we've ever played. Like we sweat
I think I remember this.
Everything. But the reason why I bring that up, one, because he brought it up and he had a very interesting story about how he beat cancer. So salute to him. Yeah, it's like a really, really powerful story. I'm not going to read it because it's
so good.
Wait, who beat cancer?
I want to shout him out. The dude that reminded us.
Okay. We're sorry.
When he first saw me with you at this festival. And I laughed because I remember that festival, one, because it was the hottest thing I've ever been in my life to this day. And it was like literally like I'm staying in a fucking sauna. It was so unnecessary.
That kind of hot.
But yeah, like clothes in the trash immediately after. Like there's no saving that. But what will make you laugh and why it segues back into the 5-spot conversation of being ahead of technology, that was the first time we saw Groove Rider. That was the first time Groove Rider used Serato.
Oh.
And if you remember, we were in the back overlooking everything, laughing hysterically because Groove would put on a record. And normally to DJs like that, the next thing you do is start digging through crates. And because he didn't have to do that, he literally would put on a banger and just stand there because he didn't know what to do. He had all this free time and he was just
yes.
I don't know. And it was like for an hour and a half, Groove Rider would just like put on a record, mix it, it'd go off and the party's going crazy and he would just be like,
just be standing there. Yup.
Was he mad or was he happy?
No, he was just wait till this is done and I'll play another one. Lord.
That's how I feel about that new thing called Phase. Have you seen that little thing called Phase? You put it on right.
It's weird.
That's how I felt about that the first week I used it because like usually when you're using Serato, you usually pick up the needle and put it back to the beginning of the time code. You just get used to that. And with this shit, you don't have to even put the needle down. I'll just keep reaching for the needle, and I'm like, wait, there's no needle.
There's no needle there.
So yeah, it's the same kind of thing with that too.
Are you using that right now, or what?
I'm not using it anymore because there's a little lag.
Oh, and latency will fucking kill you. Yeah,
just a little lag. Oh no, this might piss y'all off, but I use sync. So with the lag, the sync goes off. So it's like It
Yeah.
doesn't
I
make sense.
think
For the
I think,
record,
I
the
don't know.
sync argument stopped the second you said you started using it.
Yo,
Like,
I've been battling people who think sync is whack since like '08.
Uh,
You
I
know
don't
what I
see a
mean?
big deal about the problem. I mean, if it's making people mix better, then so be it. But you still got
Yeah.
to play the records. You still got
I
to
mean,
mix it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and
Yeah.
even on a technical level, right?
Mm-hmm.
It mixing is so elementary. And I'm not being rude. I'm not being rude. It is elementary. If you don't know how to match a
it's not
beat,
though. I hate you so much. You do
it
this
is.
shit. Even earlier when I asked the questions, like you ruined scratching for me. Like, no, scratching's great when you're listening to the 6 greatest scratches in the world and me. Like, it's
And
not
me.
easy, dude. I
Nah,
can't
man.
mix beats. Like, it's not easy. Can you
You're
rap?
you're bugging. You're bugging because it really is easy. It really is easy.
I can kind of co-sign it. It is
I
kind
hear
of
what you're saying.
It's basic, right? It's so
Yeah.
basic. And that's always been the argument because people are just like, oh no, that's not a mixing is an art form. I'm like, no, selection,
is an art
skills,
form. Yeah.
technicality. Like
Right.
there's so many things that make it an art form. You blending 2 snares together is not an art form. It's not an art
Well,
form.
it depends on your definition of mixing. I mean, there's the actual technical aspect of mixing, and then there's actually blending the 2 records in a artful way, I guess you
He's
could
saying
say.
you still got.
But that's what I mean.
That's what he's talking about.
That's
yeah.
more that's more
Right.
of your that's more
That's
of your
more important.
yeah, that's more of your selection. That's more of your vibe. It's more of that of, like with me using the sync button, it gives me time to play around with other things. And it gives me time to like get more busy. And it sounds perfect. Why wouldn't you want to sound perfect?
Right.
Like the shit that kills me is when I watch my boys and they start train wrecking and then they go to fix the pitch. I'm like, we're not in fucking 1988.
Right. But it's funny. I used to be one of those people that was like, fuck anything that's not vinyl, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I evolved in that. And part of like what made me evolve on that was the fact that since day one of emceeing, I've been using vocal effects in a live setting because I used to want to sound like Conrad back in the day. You know what I mean? And so people would be like, wait, like you use effects on your voice. You are like altering your voice. You were digitally altering like what you do to suit your needs. And I was like, oh, I guess DJs do that. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And I came around. It's funny, actually, just to go back real quick to the memories of like when Serato and Final Scratch were first out. Actually, when you played Buffalo, I had emceed for Rock Rada. And it was weird. So for me, it was cool. I was like, sweet. I get to MC for a DJ that's not drum and bass, right? And it was really fun watching him. But I think, if I recall correctly, he actually just played vinyl straight up that night. And when it was announced that you were coming, everyone was like, oh, is he going to play? Do you think he's going to have Final Scratch? Because actually, Final Scratch was out, I think, first maybe. Or people around Buffalo knew about Final Scratch before Serato, and people were all wondering if that's what you were going to bring. Like, we got a camera set up at the club above the table so that people could watch on the TVs behind your head and all this other stuff. And it was like a big point of conversation. People were like,
it was like, the new thing.
Mesmerized. What's happening with this? Holy shit!
The first time I saw Final Scratch, and Final Scratch was before Serato. The first time I saw Final Scratch, it felt like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. So I could see where people were like, "Is he going to bring that technology?" You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was. We wanted to see. Okay, what's the guy who's the best at this gonna do with this new thing? Will he bring it? No one knew. And when everyone did, I was like, "Oh shit! Did you see it?"
I guess
like they're all talking about it. It did. It felt like a weird. When you see things like transforming forever before your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Which we've seen a lot of lately. Yeah. So now we're kind of used to it. But then it was like, holy fuck. It felt like getting the iPhone for the first time.
Yeah,
or something like that. It was like, it was a cool time.
It was. Shit was very dope.
I think like Craze is pretty much a scientist with it all. I think that's the only answer I have to it, because as you say that, it just feels like the technology could be new. And as soon as you see it, you already broke the matrix. You already got these ideas that nobody even see about to happen is about to happen. And that's how I felt with the Serato night, because I just thought it was just some simple next record. Mm-hmm. All right, so now we done with vinyl now. Nobody wants to lift crates anymore. And thank God nobody wants to lift crates anymore right now, actually. But just the whole idea of what the technology really can do and be put to proper use is something that not a lot of people achieve in general.
Wait, hold on.
To be fair.
When was the last time you actually had a crate as backup?
An actual crate?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bro, that had to have been like early 2000s.
Even earlier, because I don't even remember us trying.
Yeah, as soon as Final Scratch came out,
you were on it.
I was just like, fuck it. If the shit crashes, I'll get on the mic or do something else. Like I didn't care.
I was
around. You were around, right? I was just like, and it crashed a lot in the beginning. I was
many a beatboxing sessions.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this one gig in fuck man, I think it was Rochester. Is that where Gil was from? Rochester?
Yeah. No.
Rochester.
Connecticut.
Connecticut, right? Yeah. There was this one gig where it just didn't want to work, and I spun on everybody's records, like
right.
Yeah, and I spun on everybody's records, so I didn't care because like if my shit would fuck up, I would just be like, "Yo, can I play off of your tunes?"
Yeah.
You mean you could go off with something else?
You mean you're a DJ?
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
That's.
I just remember when people were carrying around a crate every now, like not even a crate, like a record bag, just as backup, just in case. I always wonder when people are just like, "Fuck it," and like only brought their laptop and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're time coded.
Crazy.
Yo, it's shot time. It's shot time.
Let me take a shot.
Shot.
I told you not to.
I know, really. Seriously.
He's going to see it. No, he's good.
I see my daughter heard it.
Roti and Poutine does not condone the actions of DJ Craze.
Yo, it's funny because like at the beginning of the week, I posted something that said, "Look at my daughter." Yes, thank you, Mama.
Aww.
Funny story about Angie. Tell her I said hello, by the way.
Armani says hello.
Tell her.
Mosquito.
And if there's anything in this world that makes me feel old, it's seeing how grown she is. Because of this story.
She's about to be 21 in like 10 days.
Blessings, bro. Blessings, man.
I did my job.
See, I didn't know this. I was
I
picturing like a 6-year-old kid bringing you a shot.
No,
that's what I was picturing. Like,
your dad. She's 21. That's why it's funny. It's still a joke. But that being said, I still see. So one time I went to Miami, right? And Craze will spit out his drink if I don't hurry up and say this. We're in the back of Craze's Hummer, and he pulls up to the crib, and we're about to go play a show, and his daughter gets in the back seat, and this is back when I was smoking cigarettes like crazy.
Right.
And this beautiful little girl gets in the back seat, and I'm so happy to see her, and I'm like, "Hey, Angie, how are you?" And she's like, "Your breath smells horrible," and I was just like, "Cool." And that's how my night started.
That was a quiet ride.
She'll always be that little girl that was like, go get some
kids, man. Kids will fucking fuck up your day.
Yeah,
she's like her father, man. She's spilling facts.
All right, we don't need to continue on the joke and shit. So you've been a long way, man. Speaking of politics, didn't you DJ for Kanye?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. 2008. Was it 2008 or 2007 for the
Glow in
the Dark tour? Yeah.
That was a good times. I really just brought it up so we can segue into the spawning of Slow Roast.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk more about the site.
No, because like
he's a good guy. I'm sorry.
Nah, he's a great guy, and he's like one of my heroes. He was one of my heroes. There's a couple of like heroes fall for me. Like wait, what am I trying to say? Okay, like I'm able to separate the art from the artist. I'm not able to separate the art from the artist.
Okay.
Right? Like I don't play Kanye's music anymore.
Right.
I don't play R. Kelly. I don't play Michael Jackson. I know that sparks I don't play Michael Jackson. I know I know it hasn't been cleared up.
Has it?
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
Right. It has. No, we'll talk. We'll be here for another 5 hours.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
Okay,
and I'll only make one point. For me, it's what Oprah says. It's not the proof. It's of the guys with the letters that are very creepy that he used to write to these kids. It's
that
not
bugs
about
me out too. That bugs me.
come on, like when you read the letters, like you got to think a little.
Look,
bit more.
even if there's like a doubt in your mind, kind of where like maybe this guy kind of did it, that's enough reason to not want to do that in public. You know what I mean? Just in case.
Right.
You want to cover your bases. So I get it. I get that.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Yo, DJ Brent. I don't care what you think. So, anyways, so like for me. So for me, I can't separate that shit. And for me, the one thing that made sense that Oprah said was it was the predatory ways. That was the only thing that I kept thinking of. And then I saw Oprah say it, and I was like, right. It's the predatory actions that he was taking, like telling, hey, leave your kid with me. Here's a ticket for the whole family to go to Walt Disney. Why?
There's more. Yeah, I don't want to touch it.
It'll
go on.
Let it go.
Actually, I don't stick up for none of these dudes, but I like the Michael Jackson
I will
story.
say my only defense of Kanye is the simple fact that I'm watching a man going through something. I still don't condone it, and I've lost faith in what that has become, and I hope he gets help one day. But it is more than just him being extra.
But he definitely is bipolar, and he definitely has problems. But the danger in what you put out there,
totally.
Absolutely.
You can't just be like, we'll excuse that because he makes great music.
No, that's not. I can't even just excuse it because you're having a mental breakdown. It's still something you need to address, and it's still.
Bro, the black vote went up for Trump as soon as that motherfucker co-signed him. Exactly. It went up, bro. It went up because there's people that will do anything for him because of his art.
Here's a bigger point on that because I don't want to dwell on it too long. I truly was just trying to talk the Slow Road situation. But my counterpoint to him going through something and me understanding that he's going through something is if that even is the case, if there is a moment of clarity, then please come out and say that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there hasn't been even a counterbalance to that. The only counterbalance we've ever had is when he tried to run for president, and that just went downhill more. And you haven't even cleared that up yet. So it's just like if you have the power, if you recognize your power, then understand that it goes both ways, and you have responsibility.
Also, you know, the way that I feel and the way that I carry myself is just that. Right. It's just me. Like anybody that plays Kanye in the clubs, I'm not there like, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. It's just my personal choice. I don't fuck with people. I don't play their shit. I don't talk to them. I don't talk to their peoples. Like, that's how I am. I don't know what the hell.
I think that one of the bigger points for me anyway that concerns me about Kanye is not what Kanye says, not how he behaves. Like a report came out today that his campaign is rife with Republican operatives, like who are pro-Trump and stuff like that. And he has not hidden that. But I'm saying, the bigger point being is that whatever he is going through or whatever, thought processes he's having and stuff like that are being exploited by exactly the people you don't want to exploit that kind of shit. So he is unwittingly or wittingly, depending on how you look at what he's going through mentally and emotionally, being weaponized by the right wing. And, to distort, by the way, the thinking, because what they'll do is the Trump campaign and the Republican Party in general loves to hold up a black person or two or three and be like, see, they approve, as if that is to signify what all black people think, because they treat black people like a monolith and stuff like that. And it's just he's being weaponized, and that's the scary part.
Like, I try not to judge, but I can't co-sign the actions. That's it.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying
that's exactly it.
But yeah, exactly what he said, because I'm not saying he's a piece of shit. I'm just saying I don't rock with him. And I'm not gonna, he's one of my heroes. I said that. He's one of my heroes. I love how he used to be. I love that talking shit and that
you can have it both ways.
He would when I was on tour with him, he would speak shit out into existence, and I don't know how the fuck he would do it.
Wow.
Like there was this one time when we were practicing, and he said something to the light guy. He's like, yo, I need this to be like this. And the guy was just like, but that's going to take like a week. Like, we can't really make it happen. He was like, you're going to get it here by tomorrow and just leave. And I was just like, what the fuck?
You said something very important way back.
And they and they would have it the next day.
Yeah, you said something.
Wow.
You said something to me very.
Like-
I thought was important that I've used in his defense in the past, and you even spoke after the tour, and you said that you don't think he would be as good if he wasn't that way.
Yeah, because look, people that get to that level, even I'm not bragging, but like even myself, I'm a dick. I'm a dick sometimes because like, yo, if you're in the room practicing with me, like it's like you better take that shit serious.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
you gotta, if you want to be the best, you gotta want that shit. You gotta like have
But
that mentality.
I
And
will
like
say-
if he wasn't like that, I don't think he would be like that. Like he's like the Mayweathers, like the Michael Jordans of the
Yeah,
world,
all of
like
them.
the Kanyes, like the Muhammad Ali's. Those are my heroes because those are the people that I'm just like, they were gonna be the best at all costs.
Right.
You feel me?
At
Like
all costs.
they were gonna,
There wasn't going to be a no in there that would satisfy them at all.
yeah, and they
Absolutely.
didn't. And on some like dick shit, like they wouldn't care about how people looked at them and
Nope.
what the situation was. All they cared about was the vision of being the best. And that is like what I looked at Kanye when I would be like, yo, that's the most dopest shit. I'm on fucking tour with Kanye because of that, not because of his music. You know, I was just like, this guy's the best at what he does right now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
His production and his overall idea and he that part of him is something to watch all the time.
Yeah, especially that era. That era was when
that
he was
era.
working on 808s and Heartbreak.
Right.
Dude, that
And he-
tour changed a lot of things for me. For the rants that he went on at the end of the tour, every night he would go on like a literal 30. He does all of his tours. He goes on
Every show he would do
30-minute
that.
soliloquies.
Right.
Yeah, but like back then, when I was paying more attention, back then is when he was first. That tour was popping, and the thing he was saying every night was how much everyone was telling him that he shouldn't be putting this much creativity into those tours. When I watched that man, I watched Lupe go on first, then I watched Rihanna go on next, and then there was literally like an hour wait for Kanye. And then I don't know if you guys remember, but the curtains opened up and a space world appeared from the ground. A comet flew from the sky, and this man did Broadway hip hop style for an hour and a half, yo. And it was the most mind blowing thing I've ever seen.
That shit was amazing.
It was crazy. It was just like a story being told through all his songs that interwoven, and it changed everything for me. I was like, if we're gonna do a hip hop show, that's how you fucking do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just
Yeah.
like, this
Nobody
Nobody was
back
doing
in
it
one
like
second,
that.
right?
like,
Probably Prince-esque, right? Prince's shows have been known to
totally.
be like.
That's what I'm saying. He took, and we said this Crazy and I a long time ago, and I said, what do I love about drum and bass? And I was like, drum and bass takes the greatest elements of rock and roll and hip hop and all these things and mash them together.
Right.
And their presentation, if we can just like dial it into something similar. And that's what I loved about Kanye is Kanye looked in the past of all these shows that weren't hip hop and making
Right.
these videos. We talked about it all the time. When I watch the Foo Fighter videos and then I watch a hip hop video, and I'm like, why are these not, you know what I mean? Like, there's something that's not connecting here. Like, I don't know. I'm on a ramble, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
okay.
Like,
We get your point, Omani. We get your
I'm
point.
saying that those are the times that we remember. What he's descended into now is a completely different thing, but whatever, yada yada. But the point is,
Yeah.
and why I brought that up, because I was with you when you got that call. If you remember correctly, we were actually in Singapore.
I don't remember last week.
Yeah, I know. and for y'all who think he's joking,
I'm not joking.
this is how bad Craze is not joking. Craze hit me up. Craze hit me up 6 months ago, out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him for a while, and Craze hits me up and goes, "Yo, did we open up for Jay-Z?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, did we open up for Jay-Z?" I'm like, "Are you asking me if we opened up for Jay-Z, the biggest hip hop artist on the planet?" He was like, "Yeah, did we did." I was like, "Yes, fool." He's like, "Yeah, I went to Taipei," and these promoters were like, "Remember me?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, yo, like we landed in Taiwan." Literally landed from a whole nother party. We hadn't even dressed or showered or anything
Oh,
like
shit.
that. We literally
Oh,
landed,
cool.
got off the plane, got into a fucking car, and they were like, "So we're gonna drive you to a stadium, and you're gonna open up for Jay-Z." And we were like, "Ooh."
Bet.
It's like, all right. Another
Let's
thing
go.
that made it really weird. I don't remember if you remember this. The whole thing was supposed to be Craze doing a routine And when we got on stage, they had the spotlight on Craze, but the fucking camera was on me on the jumbo screen, so people thought I was there to rap, and I wasn't. I was literally the whole time going, Craze, like, stop looking at me. Like, it's just like 80,000 people just like trying to
put it on the black guy. That's what was going on right there.
So people were supposed to play the after party. People kept coming up to me and throwing up the rock symbol. I'm like, I'm not in rock.
Oh, Monty Z.
Like,
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yup, I forgot that.
What's my motherfucking name?
Anyway,
Money.
so you got the call. You went with Kanye. You did Kanye, and just like A-Track came out and did Fool's Gold, you came out and pumped Slow Roast Rex, correct?
Correct. But Kill the Noise.
Yes, talk about that.
So Slow Roast was conceived in a strip club.
Of course it was.
It was. Me and Jake were at a strip club. Winter Music Conference. We were at Gold Rush. And for those that don't know, Kill the Noise used to be E1. And he was showing me all his new music, Kill the Noise. And I was just like, yo, this is dope. And I was just like, what are you going to do with this? And he was like, I don't know. And I was just like, yo, I fucks with your vision. Let's start a label. And he was just like, do you know anything about running a label? And I was like, no, but A-Track's one of my best friends. I was like, no, A-Track's one of my best friends and he'll help. And so I hit up A-Track and he was just like, yo, we'll help you with it. Like, you'll be a subsidiary of Fool's Gold to start off. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. So basically, it was our vision. We would just give the music to Nick and they would help us distribute it. And it was like, that was the whole learning lesson on how to run a label. And now we're 10 years strong.
10 years passed fast, man.
Yeah. We took a break for like 2 or 3 years. And then I started it back like last year.
Ah, okay, all right. Yeah.
Or 2 years ago, sorry. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, Codes is good peeps. As a matter of fact, I was...
Shout out Codes. He's a good dude.
You remember that? The last time I saw you was at his birthday party, which you came out in a hole-in-the-wall joint that was rimmed front, back, side to side, in the middle of Brooklyn.
Oh, shit, right.
That was a proper time, man. And
man.
I just remember, so big shouts to Codes on that one as well.
Yeah, man, Codes is killing it as well. Like, he's fucking, all his new music is dope, and like, he has his own little thing going, so that's really, really dope.
He's got a really cool stream as well.
Yeah. And his record label, Holy Moly. Yeah.
Holy Moly is going. That's right.
Let's take a break and play one of these things. Are one of these on Slow Roast?
Yeah. No. The Proud remix is on Chami's label, right. And then All They Wanna, that's my label.
Okay, so why don't we play that real quick? We'll give everybody.
Oh shit, sir! Shout out to Serge Rock. He's in the building.
Hey, Serge, what's goody? Yo, super homie for life, for sure.
Hell yeah, Serge.
So yeah, we're gonna play this track called "All I Wanna" with
All They Wanna.
All They Wanna, and with Craze and John Casey. I can read. Don't.
Obviously not.
All right, so y'all, if you're gonna listen, mute, and if not, everybody, I need to see fire emojis in the chat. We're gonna play this one. It's called "All They Wanna" from Craze.
I mean, don't put up fire ones if you don't like the song.
Oh yeah, if it's trash,
you can shit on me. You can shit on me. I'm
if
good.
It's trash. Put trash cans up, and then basically blast his Twitter all day. Don't put fire emojis up yet. Y'all loyal as fuck. I ain't even hit play yet. Like, this shit is so dope. We love you, Craze.
I can feel the dopeness. You ain't even press play yet.
Here it goes. All They Want, Craze, John Casey, Slow Roast, big up.
I got you on my app, son. I gotta get through this fucking ad.
They can hear you.
Oh, whoops.
It don't matter. We're going to talk through the shit anyway, so they can't. Don't say something you're going to regret. Is all.
Yo, esoteric. Everything is crazy-roni esoteric.
When you're young, not much matters.
There'd be another Google
You
price.
find something
Shit,
that
man.
you
Hell
care
yeah,
about. That's all you got.
At Crazy-roni.
Sleep, night you dream of pussy. When you wake up, it's the same thing. It's there in your face. You can't escape it. That's just it. Fucking is what I love. Take that away from you.
I sampled kids on this song. Merge. Nah, I didn't play it last night. Last night was all drum and bass, the same drum. That look over serious, guys.
Bitches and get blunted. Clock, dope. All they wanna do is clock dope. School bitches and get blunted.
Can't bang my head tonight, but I'm wobbling.
They got the whole drug shit to a side.
Disgusting.
Oh shit, Bonnie mean mugging. I was watching you on the Twitch.
Roti And Poutine.
Bitches and get blunted. Clock, bitches and get blunted. Clock, bitches and get blunted. Clock, dope. All they wanna do is clock dope. School bitches and get blunted. They got the whole drug shit to a side. Bitches that get blunted. Bitches.
Sheesh.
Whoa.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey,
I'm not even hearing it.
Shout out Lexi. Appreciate for the follow. Also, someone gave it a follow earlier, but I can't say it anymore. But thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, any launching firework emotes in the channel. I appreciate y'all.
Shout out
That's
Lexi.
crazy. What y'all think?
Shout
It was
out
good. I
Lexi.
saw all kinds of.
I saw it was pretty lit out there.
Nice.
I would describe that as lit.
Wow.
Word.
That was crazy.
So Craze,
Time for
what is
another
your? Oh yeah, hell yeah! Hold on, let me get one of these suckers here. So talk about drum and bass for a quick second, Craze, man. What got you into drum and bass at some point?
You've got to stop doing that.
He saw the bell.
Let me get these women folk to bring me a drink.
No, see, too far. Could have left it where it was. Anyway, drum bass.
Word. So like 97, I think it was 97. I went to Munich. It was my first trip overseas. Look, she brought me the whole bottle. Damn, son.
Oh, she said you're
tired
gonna be
of that
here for a
fucking
long time.
Ring that bell again and see what happens.
I'm tired of this shit.
Oh snap! So 97. I went to Munich. I was playing like this little bar, and like in the main room, it was all drum and bass. It was like a big ass warehouse, and I was playing the bar side of it. I hadn't even won DMCs or anything. They just booked me off the strength of some mixtape that somebody from Scam or Schematic or some electronic label sent them. Anyways, so after my set, they're like, I was already getting buzzed. They were like, you want to go back to your room or do you want to check out the main room? And it was Shy FX and Hype. And I was just, right. And back then, this was like pre-internet. So
yeah,
anything electronic music to hip hop boys was rave music.
What is this shit? Techno.
Yeah, what is this techno shit? Exactly.
It's too fast.
Exactly. What is this fast techno? So I get to the room and the vibes were just on point. And this was around the same time that I was not liking hip hop. Hip hop was becoming materialistic. It was becoming really jiggy. It was that era where like I just couldn't connect with the music anymore.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Right, exactly. So like drum and bass and the vibe that I saw that night, it was that b-boy shit. Everybody was there watching the DJ. Like, you know, no disrespect to the MCs, but the MC was secondary. It was like,
and that's
DJ.
our show, folks. So I hope.
But that's like some b-boy shit. Like it was one of those things where my point is, all eyes were on the DJ. The DJ was playing some like crazy new shit that I've never heard before in my life, and it had a lot of bass, and it sounded raw, and one of the songs that got me into it was Bambaataa, and Bambaataa was basically Rapper's Delight on 45. That's what I thought it was, and I was hooked, you know, and I was really buzzing, and I think I was on something else. And
it just amplified.
It just blew me away. I thought it was the most exciting new thing that I had heard ever. And I still feel like that about drum and bass. For me, drum and bass is still gives me that futuristic vibe that I first heard when I was in Munich.
Yeah. You know, speaking of sync, I think a lot of people with the sync button would have a hard time trying to mix jungle records, but that's a whole nother conversation. Right? You know, jungle mixing jungle is hard. It's absolutely hard.
It was, but for me, I always viewed it as halftime.
Right.
So I never heard drum and bass as boom. I heard it as boom. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like.
So wait, how long have you been in Miami? Was it since it's like child times, or was it like within? You know, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm kind of late on this whole situation.
No worries.
The only reason why I'm asking is because I've always tried to relate the Miami side of drum and bass. Was it the bass music that got a lot of people in the drum and bass for the people who know about it out there?
Yeah, it was definitely a love for bass, but for me, drum and bass, it was more about the hip hop vibe of it. It wasn't about the Miami bass vibe of it. It wasn't the party atmosphere of drum and bass that got me into it. It was more of like the sampling, the bass lines, not just like the 808, like the actual bass lines. There was there was like a melody in the bass lines instead of it just a one note 808. And just like, you know, I'm from Miami, so like the Caribbean vibes here are heavy, and just the Caribbean vibes of Shy Effects and like just like the raga shit, the jungle and all that shit. I was just like, you know, because when I was spitting hip hop and I would want to wheel up tunes, like that shit was not normal if you weren't from Miami. You feel me? Until Boot Camp Click came out. You feel me? So like that culture was what brought me into that too.
Oh man, yeah. You know, that Shy Effects you're talking about has got to be the Diary of a Mad Sound Shy Effects. That must have been a very crazy year to hear drum and bass.
Yeah, Lovers Rock and fucking all that shit. Yeah, and
one of the greatest albums ever made, actually. That Shy Effects album.
Hell yeah. There's like 3 goats of drum and bass for me. Producers, and it's one of them is Shy. My main goat is Dillinger. That's Dillinger all day above everybody. Shy Effects and Caliber.
I knew Caliber was coming. Caliber's on.
Kobe don't sound so crazy now, does he, ladies and
gentlemen?
Yeah, Shy Effects and Caliber are in my top. They're in my top 3 probably.
Yeah. They have their own thing going. Like they're just amazing.
The way Shy Effects is like, no matter what era you get him into, he's the dude that you would choose to bring drum and bass to the masses if you had
to.
You know what I mean? Like he's the guy.
Anytime you're struggling, either a Dillinger for hip hop boys, either a Dillinger record or a Shy Effects record, and you were good because like the beginning, 4 or 5 years, Monty will tell you the first 4 or 5 years that I was spinning drum and bass, it was at hip hop clubs in the States.
Yep.
Oh, how did that go?
You know,
not well at all.
No, it's my fault. It's not my fault purely. I was just egging them on. But do you know
this is a story right here, guys. You got to talk about this right quick.
Craze would get booked at a hip hop club.
Right.
We play hip hop. He go into his Miami bass thing, and then we'd have the same conversation every single night at the same exact time. And he'd go, "Should I pay drum bass?" And I go, "You already know what I'm gonna say, so why did you even ask?" And he's like, I don't think we should. And I was like, no, I think we should. I think we should scare the shit out of everybody in here. It's like, and we would. And he'd play drum bass every fucking time and scare the shit out of half the people there. And
they all just look at you like, where the fuck are these guys from, right?
Yo,
man,
but
a lot of times that shit went off.
Exactly. There was a cool moment in Australia when we were touring with Rock Raider and the Beat Nuts.
One of my favorite tours ever.
Yeah, there was this.
Shout out Henley.
Yes, and oh shit, word.
Yeah,
he's. Go ahead. After. All right. So this moment, I think we were in Perth or somewhere, and it was like Raider, then Beat Nuts, and then I would close it out because I was playing drum and bass, and like so the hip hop people heads could leave after Beat Nuts were done. But that one night, like Juju used to stick around because
shouts to Juju, he be still running around down here.
Yeah, he used to fuck with it, like. And he would tell me, he's like, yo, that shit you playing, that shit is fly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
that's him, right?
And like, and I was a massive Beat Nuts fan. So like, I looked up to them, you know what I mean? And there was this one night, I remember I was faded and I'm doing my thing and I'm just feeling it. I'm in the mood. Like Monty's killing it. We're murdering the club. And I'm playing a Dillinger record. And he comes up to me and he's like, what's that? What's that? And I was just like, that's Dillinger. And it's just like, I was like, wow, my hero gets it. You know what I mean? Like my homie gets it. He likes the same shit I like. And it clicked. We were just like, word, two hip hop boys that just like, love this sound.
He loved drum bass so much. We played, what was that? The Sonar, the festival in Baltimore that used to happen every year.
Sunrise?
Moonrise.
No.
It wasn't called Moonrise back then.
Sunrise Festival, isn't it?
No.
It was
on the water.
On the water, yeah. Water. I forgot the name of it.
Anyway, so Evan's like, what a dick. We booked you all the time. Anyway, this is how much he loved drum and bass.
Starscape.
Yes.
Thank you guys in the chat.
Appreciate y'all in the chat. And thank you for the chat. I thought Valiant picked that up on his own. Anyway, so
I should have remembered that. I should have.
We all should have. I just got on stage with Dylan and fucking the Beat Nuts on after us. And Juju walks up and he's like, what's good, man? I'm like, yo, man, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. He's like, yeah, yo, can you stay on with us? And I'm like, what? Why? And he was like, yo, I'm like, this is your crowd. And I'm like, what? The fucking Beat Nuts. I'm seriously can't believe to this day, after as many times we hung out, I'm still talking to you and you want me to get on stage with you. Like, yeah, sure, man. I'll stand there. Like, he loves
drum and bass. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. He still prowls the Lower East Side of Manhattan. You might run into. Yeah.
That tour is crazy. That was one of the first big tours we ever did. We toured Australia and fucking New Zealand for my first time ever, taking a trip all the way there. The first night we get there, we go right into the club. That's when we met Boogie Blind. We walk straight to the back while fucking Rock Raiders already fucking killing it. And Boogie Blind pulls out 2 buckets of KFC like, yo,
oh wow,
like, yo, this how we doing it? And like, that's how it was for the rest of the tour. It was just like me, Craze, Rock Raider, Boogie Blind, and Juju wilding out every fucking night, yo. And it was just like,
yo, and Boogie Blind was hilarious. Oh my god,
shout out,
he would not.
Rock Raider, like we got the same birthday, like
Rock Raider, God bless, man.
God bless, hell yeah, yeah, man.
Fucking legend.
But I kind of like these stories because we don't really get a chance to talk about the hip hop side of people coming into drum and bass or first hip hopper's experience coming in. Like for myself, I've always thought I was the lone dude for a long amount of time until I grabbed the mic, and then it'd be certain dudes in the club that would just get close to the speakers just so they could hear what you're saying. I was like, before you go, you see a certain kind of MC, no disrespect to anybody else, of course. And then somebody comes on and just is something flowing where they're like, yo, what the hell is he doing? All right. Then you find out this dude is a hip hop dude pretty much hanging out here. Because not for nothing, like Crazy, when you touched on how hip hop was changing, a lot of people did kind of want to not put up with what hip hop was going through. Around that time, a lot of fights were still happening, shootouts, and all kinds of things for just hanging out. And so a lot of these people came to these underground raves and all these like illegals. They don't have illegals no more, but we won't even touch on that.
Now.
You know what I mean? kind of have it. These guys are breaking the law.
And here's Valiant patented leave during the middle of the
Yo, and around the same time that we were all feeling like this about hip hop,
Right.
so was Stretch. He spoke about it in the Stretch Bobbito documentary, and he said it. He was like, around '98, I wasn't connecting with hip hop anymore, and I was just like, that's how I felt. You know? And like, Stretch was a big part of,
oh man, the
a
pipeline.
big part of
guys.
why I used to, it was a big part of like why I was like so into hip hop around the time with Ruckus and Eminem and like even Nas and even like Wu-Tang and all that shit. I remember hearing all this shit from those tapes. So to hear him say that, I was just like, word, we were all going through it.
It was really cool because like it was funny for just as much as Craze would play drum and bass at hip hop clubs, he would play hip hop at drum and bass clubs, and like we never gave a fuck.
I'm here to piss people off, Monty. I'm here to piss people off.
We were just like, we're just gonna do what we do, and you're either gonna like it or you're not. But it was never a hesitation of it, and we had a fucking I met more people in hip hop outside of the States doing drum and bass with Craze than I had seen in the States trying to do hip hop. Like it was we met Public Enemy that way. That's how I became friends with Lord. Shout out. By the way, I feel like everywhere we went, Public Enemy went. It was like the weirdest
for like a year.
For like a long ass time. It was like every party we showed up on, and it was just like, then there's Public Enemy. Like, all right, cool. I don't know why that's so weird. But yeah, like we met so many DJ Cash, like all kinds of crazy shit, man. And it was just like a complete unadulterated, unapologetic, like we're just gonna
like
play
moment.
And that's the end of
Well,
it.
that's the whole thing, because like speaking on like what Juju did is kind of like pretty much the life story. On a mixtape I did, that whole Next Level event, there's this one deep voice dude on there. That deep voice represented every big husky hood dude that came up to be like, yo, I don't know what the fuck this shit is, but the shit y'all doing, that shit is hot. I like this shit. I don't know what they doing, but the shit y'all doing, and they just be like, this super camaraderie of brotherhood just happens with some big dude coming up to you. It happened with Bookham. This dude pretty much did like 8 years in jail and wanted to see Bookham and didn't care if he wasn't going to leave until he saw him. And then he sat there and almost cried in Bookham's face. A real dude now, like husky, so it there's an effect it has. It just
Crazy did that shit to people all the time. I don't know how many times I've had those strange that's not just a singled out thing. That's happened many times where I've had after a Craze show, somebody walks and be like, yo, man, I just got out 20 years. That shit was crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yo,
why are you here?
Yo, but Monty, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. That it's kind of like the same thing with scratching, right? Like drum and bass, how it was presented to me through Shy Effects and Hype was the same thing I was talking about with scratching. Like you have to hear the right person do it for you to understand it, right? And so what me and Monty was to a lot of Americans was that bridge of like, no, we're not just playing the Loonies and fucking mixing some Aphrodite tune. No, it was a vibe. Like I brought the hip hop vibe. Monty brought the hip hop MC vibe. Like it was two hip hop boys playing drum and bass. It wasn't random dudes just playing fucking
trying to find some weird
to find a way to fit in.
It wasn't a weird fusion. We were like, no, we're gonna play both. And
exactly.
Yeah, you two were the first to put a very, I don't want to say like a distinctly American spin on drum and bass, but you were the first to put a distinctly American spin on the presentation of drum and bass, which was like the important thing. Okay. It's not the musical part that Americans had a hard time with. I think that, MCs didn't stop trying to sound like a yardie until after Armani really made a stamp on the scene. You know what I mean? Other than that, like MCs were like I mean, even me to a degree, like even though like I've always sounded pretty American, at the same time, I mean, in the first few years, I was aping MC Conrad.
But we all did that. I'll always big up that from.
I know.
When you don't come out of it, we'll have a completely different conversation. But I listened to it. I wanted to learn it, and anyone who knows me, I'm a sponge.
Of course.
What I'm saying is, sorry.
But go ahead. I'm just saying.
All I was saying is that what I'm saying is you presenting it in a way that felt distinctly culturally American really helped people like take this kind of ownership of drum and bass that I feel like wasn't there before. Like and I'm talking like going back. I mean, I remember when drum and bass was first hitting the shores, and it was like it was this new thing, but it still felt distinctly British. It still felt like, you know, we were still kind of made to feel like we were pretending. And when it was just presented in a way by an American DJ and an American MC that felt distinctly American, it had very strong hip hop roots. It felt familiar. Like it was people like all it. I think it changed the mentality, and that's. I don't believe that there's a coincidence that is when drum and bass really started to build into. Well, obviously, you know, you can bring up the dubstep argument, whatever, like whether or not it had something to do with drum and bass and being a downside. But drum and bass was on a real crescendo at that time, and I think a lot of it had to do with the stuff that you guys were doing.
It's just it's presence. One more thing I share with you. Life Emotion came out a couple years ago. I go across the water. I'm performing. One of my favorite performances, believe it or not, was in Vienna at this one space. And like, you know, the thing with Europe, they have a good community of African folk. And a lot of those African folk are kind of gangster out there, if you don't mind me saying. So I'm doing a club, and one side you got like, you know, the preppy side, and the other side is all these African dudes in there chasing these women down and all some wild shit. And here I go to get on the mic, yo. And of course, I guess maybe drum and bass is a little bit more accepted, but there might have been still a divide. All I can tell you at one point, there's a bunch of African dudes and African girls straight up bogling and doing this all in my face and wilding out because it just felt different. Like it almost felt like the club never even had these same cats who would just be in there looking for some, you know, might get into some issues or whatever, be having some fun at a club at this time. So like, it's just about presentation and making it more, I don't want to say listenable because it's all treasure trash to treasures, but it's just this little thing in the middle that you guys gotta kind of hit that point, and everybody in the room will
yeah, I think what he was saying about like, yeah, like the some of the MCs in the States were still trying to sound British, and that's why like when me and Monty got together, it was just like the perfect fucking combo. Because before Monty, I was with this guy named Kenyatta, rest in peace, and he was a homie, but yo, my dude would turn the switch on and become British, and I would always just look at him, and I'd just be like, nah, like I like you because of how you spit. Like, do that. You don't have to go like this and like, you know what I mean? Like, do all that extra shit. And like, he never like, he was good for what he did. And I liked his presentation because he was a crazy looking motherfucker and he just had mad energy. But when I saw Monty, I was just like, yes, I'm a hip hop boy. I want somebody that spits like that. And
I don't like a hip hop dude.
And you let me be me. And
exactly.
And what's funny is too, and a lot of people don't know this. If I slipped out of that, you'd put me back in. Like,
pause.
If I slipped out of that, if I started to get like, you know what I mean? There were times I do an interview. I fucking hate y'all. If I did an interview, there were times I'd do an interview and they're like, so like, you know, what are you guys trying to do? And and in those moments, I'd turn into Armani Rain, and I'm just like, well, you know, we're trying to like educate the people that it's about American and hip hop and right. I'm just trying to rap the fucking party. Like I don't give a shit about anything. It was like, cool, man. Yeah, you're right. It's just but it was just. We made it a point to be unapologetically hip hop. Like we loved it all to this day. Even when we tell people mixed genre stuff, I revert back to the one thing you said to me over a decade ago, and it's just like we all have musical ADD. Like we love all of it. So like I want to make drum and bass, I want to make dubstep, I want to make breaks, I want to do whatever. I came into drum and bass because I was rapping at house parties into two-step and stumbled into a drum and bass room. It was like I just love to rap because that's the hip hop in me. When I hear drum and bass, I hear the hip hop in it. That's what drove me to it in the first place. Right. So like,
and I even mix it like hip hop, right? So it's like I remember like, you know, when we were still using vinyl and shit, I wouldn't mix, like I would champion sound, I would scratch it in, boom, we in. It wasn't even about like mixing it. I was like, I never would mix, and I would just go through records so fast. So when they would see me out there in the UK, they'd be like, yo, my man's just went through like 20 records in like 5 minutes. And I was just like, yeah, that's how I do it. It's a hip hop thing. Man. You know what I mean? And yeah, we always brought the hip hop vibe to like all that shit, I feel.
Which is why
But it wasn't on purpose. It was just like, oh, that's who we are.
Yeah, no, we weren't trying to do it, but I think that's the key. I think if we were trying to do it, you could tell.
And we do have music ADD, by the way.
I think
that's been my whole career.
Yeah. I think DJ Brandon's out here looking for smoke. He says, in my experience, there's not many American D&B MCs who try and sound British. And
You're
I'm
bugging.
like, yeah, we just cut through the bushes of all my life, cut through those bushes.
I'll even go ahead and say that the first couple years of me MCing, I tried to sound like a Foxy Skipper hybrid. Like that's I had to learn the ropes before I revert back to my own shit. But yeah.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that.
Some people now.
No, there isn't.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that because I remember we used to go to the UK and there was dudes trying to spit like hip hop bars to us with an accent.
Holy shit!
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
Plead the fifth.
Because and I don't find nothing wrong. Like with everything, you try to mimic the people you look up to. But it was just weird that like a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot. I'm not even gonna talk shit about the MCs in the States, but some of them would turn on that switch.
Yeah, if you don't sound like that when you're off the mic, don't sound like that on the mic.
Exactly.
And if you sound like that on the mic, then good for you for committing to the.
Hey, listen,
MJ is saying that's like D&B DJs try to sound like British DJs. That's I gotta say, MJ, that's a moot comment. We're talking about like the pronunciation.
No. He's answering something. He's answering
What do you mean,
something in the
tunes?
chats.
Oh, did I miss something? I missed something.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
MJ. I'll shut the fuck up.
Hey, MJ, he out here. Y'all know the chats get smoke, get a little smoky.
They got their own smoke going on. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to walk.
I like the smoke. I like the smoke.
Yeah, so do we.
It brings a smile to my face.
The person giving smoke is a moderator. Like it's just like it is what it is.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
Maybe
yeah. Damn, I lost track because of the smoke.
It's all smoky. Yeah, Brent. You may have misspelled it.
Why it was
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so it was also a number one reason why tech dubs was such an important thing.
Ooh.
So it's because
Yeah, we haven't discussed tech dubs at all yet, so let's get into this. All right, hold on. Let me introduce. Hold on a second. Not introduce, but
it's kind of weird for me to introduce tech dubs.
it's weird for the two members of tech dubs to introduce tech dubs. Anyway, all right. I'm just gonna say this. The first time I saw, I don't know if it was the first time or the second time I saw Armani Rain play. It was at a show in Rochester, and yeah, it was tech dub. So you and Photech, and then Armani and Sharpness. And I had heard about this because I've been a Photech super fan since way back. And I was like, oh shit, Photech and Craze? How the fuck is this going to work? So when I heard about tech dubs coming out, I think I read about it in Herb or something like that. Anyway, so I was excited to see you guys. I was excited to see that presentation. And we'll talk about the legacy of tech dubs. So why don't you guys talk about how tech dubs first really started?
In the beginning.
I think that's on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Monty roll with this one because I don't remember last week. all I remember from that era was Photech and Dada were like, "Yo, we should start a clique," and I was just like,
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. So, one time in Miami, Sharpness, myself, and Photech sat down to have a cup of coffee. We're sitting at a hotel room, just talking about how we thought he was dope and how he liked our. It was like one of those things, like, yo, like we look up to you, blah 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 blah. We were like, we want to do this hip hop thing, and we were like, yo, what if we created this like fucking super group and just like what if like let's just like go with all the people who love hip hop and let's just be like the next G unit of fucking drum and bass. And he was like, that sounds like a fucking great idea. Obviously, we need to get Craze in here. And it was just like he went and got Dada. Dada was obviously from the West Coast. For those who don't know who Dada is, because we keep saying Dada like you guys know who we're talking about. Dada is the guest we had on a couple of weeks ago who was also known as John Infiltrato, who is now known as 12th Planet. So Photech went back, got back with 12th Planet and another dude named Hochi for everybody. He might be in the chat. Shout out Dave Wizzle.
I don't see him.
I don't know if he is there or not. I'm just shouting him out because he needs to be shouted out. So Hochi and Dada and Photech Well, first Photek and Mental Sharp started producing records like Fahrenheit 215, and then the very next record after that was the Hit 'Em Hard record. But this whole time we were doing that with Danny Johnson and everyone, we were creating and gathering heads. So it was the obvious was Photek, Mental Sharp, 12th Planet, right? Hochi was in there doing production, and then it was DJ Craze, and then we brought in Tone, and I feel like we're leaving somebody out. Dre.
I didn't know none of this.
Yeah, no. But the core part of the group was Photek, Mental Sharp, Craze, 12th Planet, and Hochi.
Boom. That was it. That was the core.
That was the core musical part of Tech Dubs, and it was more of just like everyone that were on the same vibes, like everyone that was on taking drum and bass and trying to make it as literally as fucking hip hop as possible, and you couldn't not have Craze involved. Like nobody embodied that more than us, actually, than Craze. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was just like we hit him up and Craze said, "Yeah."
yeah, exactly.
I love telling that story because I've actually embellished it more just to make the story interesting. But like people ask me all the time, like, "How did Tech Dub start?" I was like, "Me and Photek had a cup of coffee, made some phone calls. Everybody said yeah, and then we said fuck it, and we did it."
Yeah.
When you start up Tech Dubs though, was it something where you're just like, yeah, all right, we're gonna change the way drum and bass is performed, or were you thinking about it from like a track standpoint, like we're gonna release music that is gonna change? Okay, all of it.
It was the whole thing. We were like,
and
go ahead.
And it was like a Wu-Tang thing, right? That everybody had their own role. Like I wasn't producing at all, so I was like the DJ guy that's gonna, put the whole shit together like that. And like fucking Photek, the fucking god, fucking Dada was making some banging shit. So like between him and Hochi, like they were coming up with this. I thought it had its own little sound, like the Tech Dub sound with Infiltrator and Hochi. It was a vibe. It was a whole new thing. Like not a whole new thing, but they were doing it proper.
It wasn't that we were creating something new. We just embodied it and said that we were going to embrace it as fucking much as possible and shove it down your throat.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we were trying to be like the happy vibe. We were just like fucking. It was like some G shit. It was dope.
Our whole thing was like we're going to piss off everybody possible.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. We were like the woo of drum and bass.
Like our intentions from the beginning were fuck everyone. Let's just make some fucking dope shit, and if anyone has a problem with it, then battle us.
All right. So big question then. So what the fuck happened in Tech Dubs?
Growth.
Honestly, I left drum and bass. Like I don't know, I forgot what year, but it wasn't like I left Tech Dubs. Like I felt like everybody just started doing their own things, and then dubstep came in, and Dada became 12 Planet. There was a whole. Everybody just outgrew it.
There was
basically.
It wasn't even an outgrew Tech Dubs thing, and I don't ever want that to be the thought. It was literally just no. That's not what you were saying. It was just like it was a series of unfortunate events that just led to everybody going their separate ways to become who they are now, which is a beautiful thing. And also. Oh, sorry. Also,
oh shit!
Had a moment. Also, proud to say that movement has started up again. So you know what I'm saying.
Is that an announcement?
I mean, I feel like I've been hinting this for weeks now. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, are we really having that fucking moment? I mean, I'll tell you what.
No, Armani answers this question the same way he answers whether or not he's the lead of Semper Fi. Like what? No, I mean not. No, I mean yeah. Hey. I mean, Tech Dub's kind of back. I mean, look, yeah, but
I've got 2 more tunes to play from Craze. One of them is the remix he sent, and another one we discussed whether we should play it or not.
So we going down to the wire. That's what's up.
Well, do you have the raps on it?
Yeah, I bounced it.
Oh, you do? Oh shit! Tight. I want to hear it because I haven't even heard it.
Oh, here we go.
You haven't heard it?
I heard a little bit of it.
It's just the intro. It's just the intro. I just put on the intro. I haven't done the second part off, because someone cut into my neck. So I had to take a break from doing vocals. But We can give them a taste of it if you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so yes, Tech Dubs is back. You can go check us, follow us on Twitter. We do have a new Twitter account.
I didn't even know that.
Jesus Christ, Craze.
Is the full crew back in?
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody minus.
So I feel like this should be a much bigger fucking thing than we're just like.
Well, it's
back.
Because we're not.
Well, it's not because we only literally have like 2 songs. Like,
Right.
Okay.
Don't
And, like, the
finish. There's
sound-
a bunch of them being built, but there's only
yeah,
2
exactly.
finished. So,
And we got to get Dada in there. Like right now,
there's
it's
a lot
I know
of
you got to get me in there. I know.
all the things. We're still like Dre's back. Like we're gonna get Dre in there. Like it's happening. For everybody in the chat bugging out, I just realized.
Oh, we got Dre. We got Dre matters to talk about later.
Oh, absolutely, facts, big facts.
Oof.
But yes, Tech Dubs is back. Tech Dubs is coming the same way we left. I'm gonna just play the fucking tune. How about that?
I need a Tech Dub shirt.
What's
like
the name of the
ASAP.
tune?
That's funny too. The name of
What's
the
the
tune is called Kunta.
Okay. I'm going to listen.
So here is an exclusive, brand new Tech Dubs, hot off the motherfucking presses.
Hell yeah.
It's Craze and Ho Chi, who is a fucking don. So if y'all want to hear this shit, then cool.
Fire! Oh shit, I got
Exclusive business, man. Exclusive sex.
Dubs new shit, the hell with the best of. Snatch and grab back, not to ask for respect, love. The beats back, snapping like a bat to the neck, blood. For all them vampires sucking up to protect what? This fuck swag, bragging, bitch, we back to the hardcore. The nice guys left to protest when they start pour. Our drum and bass scheme 16 in the Mark 4. Cause every clip loaded from the team is a harsh war.
Roti And Poutine exclusive. Shout out to DJ Craze. Tech Dubs. Shout out Hoshi, shout out Hoshi.
For the record, this is what fucking Jump Up should be. Anyway.
Exclusive Tech Dubs, exclusive. Roti And Poutine every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. You're listening to some brand new exclusive Tech Dubs. You are not listening to it live. It will not be on the podcast. Big up. Unfinished. Work in progress. We're gonna have some things.
Yeah, I heard some bit. Shit's dope.
Shots go crazy. I like it. Bring that thing back. Roti And Poutine. You are listening to Roti And Poutine live every Thursday on Twitch, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Money Lane, Rap, Italian. Special guest tonight, DJ Craze. Activation only on everything. Gang.
Oh shit, it's still playing? That's my favorite part, the end with the little girls.
Gang.
I put that Miami twist on that bitch.
Yeah, you did. Especially right there at the end. Yes.
God damn.
We taking it back, man. We taking it back.
It felt like being back. MJ said it. Was it MJ? Someone said, no, Lieutenant Reed, sorry. Like we're back in the early 2000s, and I agree, and in the best way possible. Because man, that was
all the golden era. Let's do
booty
it.
clap bass.
That was like
bass. Hell yeah.
That was like when Jump Up was still fucking great. No offense to people who do Jump Up right now, but
as soon as I heard it, they sent it to me. I was like, wow, we just picked up right where we left off. I mean, I started the verse like it's Tech Dub's new shit. The hell with the best.
My dog liked
you know
it.
What I'm saying like let's just get right back to where we were. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's right. So, Junglist dog, you listening, right?
Ooh, that was man. You guys took off, man.
Read it ain't done yet. I'll send it to you when it's done. Still put some sauce on it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of proper sauce, and I think that's highly anticipated after today. But that's what it is. I think that was a really good record, if you don't mind me saying. Plenty of bass, plenty of rumble. I like rumble.
What's this? Go ahead.
What? Sorry.
No, you good.
No, I was gonna say like, and I feel like it's
your show, dude. Do whatever you want to do. No,
this guy. No, and I feel like right now it's a good time to like, right now people are they're not being force fed things at festivals. They're not being force fed things at clubs. Right now people are discovering shit again, and like just like people that watch my stream and shit, they're like, yo, we came here because we saw you on Jazzy Jeff shit, and like,
right.
What the fuck is this drum and bass shit? This shit is dope. So I feel like right now is such a good time to get the crew back together again because people are like
getting interested again, and
yeah, they're like thinking
shit.
Right,
yeah.
They're thinking again. I don't know. If
no,
that
you're right.
right.
No, you're right.
No, we talk about it every week about how
about
substances return. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You see it in hip hop. We saw it before the year started, but it really, really dove in. Substances overruling. Even MC battles now, you can talk to everyone because now everything's in a small room. The lyrics mean so much more. There's no
right,
antics,
but
that's
I was talking.
as a whole.
Yeah, I was talking more about like how people's minds are open again. You feel me? Right. No. I'm talking.
Fuck what
I'm
saying.
No, what I'm saying is like people's minds are open again. So like I feel like it's a good time for like a reintroduction of drum and bass into like not the American market, but like you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's a good time for drum and bass. Is basically what
it's just a good time for drum and bass.
Exactly. Honestly. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. There's a lot of people that are fucking with it again. Like random EDM guys are like doing drum and bass sets. Fucking Dylan Francis did a whole drum and bass set.
Really?
It was not good, but
I was like, are we really about to do this right now on air?
Why did you ask really there, Valiant?
That is an off-air comment, sir.
Lord.
He's the homie. He's the homie. He knows I love him, but it wasn't good. It's just people who are doing like their interpretation of drum and bass.
I'm a hater.
He's
I love it. He's the homie, but no.
Yo,
your real homies will let you know, though. Your real homies will let you know, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh Lord, that was.
I was just sitting in this awkward silence for a minute.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Oh dear.
That's what I do.
Anyway,
we don't mean any harm tonight, guys.
Let's find something else to do. What's this other tune you sent?
It's a remix that I did for Chami on his Confessions label of this tune called Proud. Funny story with this shit. I did the shit literally in 3 days, right? And I'm not a producer. Like I'm finally getting into it. You feel me? Like, so I sent it to them and I was just like, yo, could you have somebody mix and master this for me? And Chami hits me right back up. He's like, no, it sounds great. We're just gonna put this out. And I was like, what? And Chami's known for being a dope engineer for house music. And he was like, Craze, I tried to like master it, but it didn't sound as good as like your master. And I'm like, I don't have a master on it. I have a limiter on it just to show it to you.
Right.
And that's what came out. So I hope you like it.
This was called Proud. It's a DJ Craze remix. We hope it's not shit.
No, it's getting mad love.
I'm just kidding.
And I'm like surprised because I'm like, wait, maybe I overthink shit. Anyways.
Maybe? You definitely, we all do, man. It is what it is. So check it out.
Right.
Shout out everybody in the chat once again. Thank you so much for being here. Roti And Poutine every single Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. You're here with the MC Almighty Rain, the valiant historian, and the T.R.A.C. live on that rap with special guest, the number one, Go.
Don't need caution, you're gonna find out. In this lifetime, only upsides now. Looking for the right move, that's the move now. So when I look back, I can say there's no regrets, and I'm proud, proud, proud. Remix.
Bringing out the whole gasoline tank right now on the commentary.
Fire emojis in the chat. You need to put them up because I think it's fun.
You're gonna find out. In this lifetime, only upsides now. Looking for the right move, that's the move now. So when I look back, I can say there's no regrets, and I'm proud, proud, proud. Don't need caution, you're gonna find out. In this lifetime, only upsides now. Looking for the right move, that's the move now.
Roti And Poutine. Dude, that shit is trash. No, that shit is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Or thanks.
Like super fire.
Like it's fucked up that I'm finally getting into production.
Yo, I mean, yeah, right. And I mean, if you're coming out the gate like that,
yeah. Well, I mean,
I've been sand off the beach with that one right there.
Or I've been producing for a minute, but like, I always thought of producing for me as like a secondary thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
treated it as like a thing you were doing.
yeah, I was just like, whatever, you know. But like, when I stopped playing video games and when I
Don't point to me when you do that shit.
no,
I'm joking. For those who don't know, we were talking about it before the podcast.
Yeah. When I stopped playing video games, like that shit became my video game, and that's how I treat it. It's like I learn something new every day, and like once you finish a tune and you're fucking stoked about it, you're just like, I want the next one. I want that next feeling. So it's become like a thing now. So like, I guess I'm a producer now for drum and bass wise, because like to make drum and bass, it's a whole different thing.
Absolutely, and you've made hip-hop beats.
I make hip hop beats all the time. I've made Moombatone, bangers. I've made like different shit. But as a producer, you're always scared of that fucking drum and bass engineering.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that is that is
because it has to sound right. You know what I mean?
As an American.
Yeah, and it has to sound right, and it has to have a vibe, and like for years I was just like, it doesn't sound as good as that.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, fuck it. Like when Chami told me, no, that sounds good enough, I was just like, I was like, yo, that's dope. I made it somehow.
That's crazy.
That's what's up. Oh,
Respect, brother.
The heirs are coming back to DMB.
Yeah, definitely.
Craze out here smacking them up right now.
Definitely.
Yo, man, you know what I love about this show? Hitting the 2-hour mark without even realizing it. I love that.
Oh, is it shot time?
Is it? Yes, sure. Oh, man. So, look, I appreciate you, man. I always have. Like, I tell people, it's weird because I don't like talking, not to sound like I'm talking about me, but you cannot speak of my legacy without your name being in it. And
my G.
For a lot of people, you've paved the way for, literally innovation of technology, turntablism, and mixing genres.
Head of the game in
effortlessly. So just massive appreciation. Thank you for always being a homie. Thank you for stopping through with us tonight and having
My
these
G.
convos.
Thank you.
You bitch ass motherfucker. But like,
What just went by right there?
Thanks for having me. This was fun. Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming through, Craze.
All right, don't ever bug me again, all right? All right, bye.
Yeah, for sure. I called in my favor, motherfucker. There it is. Don't forget, he does have a Twitch channel. He streams every single Wednesday. You want to do that promotion on your own, or you want me to butcher the fuck out of it?
No, I'm doing it right now.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Right there, twitch.craze.
There it is, twitch.craze. He's on there every single Wednesday, every single week, depending on what week of the month. What's the order? First week is drum and bass. Second week is...
All right, so first week is drum and bass. Last night, 4 hours, I think. Second week is all global vibes, like Mumbatone, Baile, Cumbia, like that kind of vibe.
Oh,
then,
nice.
Third week is all about beats, lo-fi, boom bap shit, and left field bass. Basically like a 2020 stream, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like all that kind of vibe. And then my fourth week was always a surprise. Like I did a Miami bass one, then I did a fidget house one, then I did a rare B-sides and remixes from the golden era.
Ooh.
Catch up. And then, but I just decided to make the fourth week hip hop and rap. And the how I'm gonna do it is gonna be like, because I listen to new rap all the time. Yeah. Like fucking Smino, Earth Gang, Aminé, like all these motherfuckers are amazing. JID is one of my favorite fucking lyricists. Yeah, he's period. So
that's fine.
For like older heads like myself that like we actually fuck with the young rap shit, but not the club shit, because that's not the vibe that we grew up on. Right. I want to play shit that I want to play the hip hop, the type of hip hop that I grew up on to young kids. And I want to promote that kind of rap. I don't want to promote Migos. I don't want to promote stripper club music. You know what I mean? Like I want to promote dope shit. So, since I have a good platform for that now, yeah, it's going to be.
You have a chance to, I got you.
The fourth Wednesday.
So what time does this start on Wednesdays?
9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Every single Wednesday. It's dope.
Yeah.
He's on there for a while. The chat's always lit. It's a good vibe for sure.
And then on Sundays, I do Slow Roll Sundays on my channel now. And that's just basically like new EDM music and whatever we're going to put out on Slow Rolls.
Sick.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That I actually did not even know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We have some more music to play. You are more than welcome to stay if you like. I've got 2 more tunes to play. One of them is from my man T.R.A.C. And also we've got another one that premiered tonight from my man Dre and Bachelors of Science.
Oh, it premiered tonight.
It premiered tonight. So after we play it here, we'll play it here so you don't have to leave right this very second. But after the show's over, I would love you to go to YouTube. It was hosted on Drum and Bass Arena. I believe I will double check that. But if you look it up, it's called Ride the Wave. And it's a video with all of them that was done as well. And it is fucking fun.
Oh my god, it is a fucking game changer.
Fire.
Game changer.
Y'all know I don't blow smoke for shit. The video's fucking fire. And salute to everybody out there that did that. But we're gonna play the tune here so you don't have to leave us, because you know what I'm saying, that's sad.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's. You want to stay, Craze? You want to hang out for a sec?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm getting drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured as much, but
There it is.
So this one's called what? Bad Bonus?
Oh yeah, this is one of the remixes off the Life in Motion project. This is Pear Tart and Eddie Oberon right now. Those guys are one of my favorites in the game.
Definitely.
You know, both dope vocalists, dope production, and however they do their shit is just the shit that I like. You know what I mean? So the opportunity.
Is this DMB?
Yes, it's drum and bass, on V Recordings. And they got together. We're putting out this project. Every month we've been putting out a single, a new single, and right now we're up to this. And for some reason, I don't want to reveal. There used to be some heads in there. They used to give like good ratings. I mean, but then for this, they gave the super unexpected rating, high-end DJ. I don't want to blow names because I'm not supposed to, I guess. But it was just really shocking. And then what followed out that it seems to be picking up a lot of momentum. Comes out tomorrow. It's called Bad Bonus. Pear Tart and Eddie Oberon, TRAC, V Recordings.
Oh, shit. Word. This is coming up. Anyways, I think I knew about this. Wait. So
Craze is getting drunk. So
no. I just put this shit together. So you're Track, the MC.
Yes.
All right.
Wait.
Sorry.
Sorry. No. You know I'm not gonna let you slide on that shit right now. We've been here for 2 fucking hours. And you had the nerve. You couldn't even wait till the shit was over to pretend. Like, come on, man. God damn it.
Hey, man, you know, I'm always quiet. Y'all know this, man. I'm always chill. You know, it ain't even... That happens to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's just crazy. It's
Yo, Monty.
Crazy. What?
Yo, my memory is fucking done.
I got it, man. Look,
before you play this,
I'm in a group chat. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of people. I've been in a group chat.
Great is that?
No. I've been in a group chat. We have a Zoom call every fucking Monday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for the last fucking 2 months, we've been doing this shit. And 12 Planet jumped in here and was like, "Yo, Will, what you doing?" And dude didn't answer. And he said, "Will," like 6 times. And he turned around and said, "Dude, my name's fucking Mike." And the fact that y'all keep fucking this shit up is pissing me off. I apologize.
Before you play that, a quick story. So I went to, I think it was Jakarta. And just to give you a little taste of my memory, I went to Jakarta. The promoter picks me up. He starts talking to me. I'm in the car and I'm just like, word. I'm talking to him. And I'm like, yo, this guy knows a lot of shit that I don't know how he knows. And so he takes me to the club. We're doing the sound check. He keeps talking to me and looking at me weird. And I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. And then I'm like, all right, cool, ready to go back to the room. And then he's just like, Craze, you don't really remember me, do you? And I was like, we met before? And he was like, Craze, I've booked you in Jakarta 5 times.
Oh, man.
That's why I said, don't get offended. It's just
don't get offended. My memory is
crazy.
No. What's great is that he knew that he did not have to say, "Oh, you're MC Trick." He could have just shut the fuck up and sipped.
We had introductions before the podcast started. He was here first. They talked. It was a whole
And
thing.
all kinds of conversation.
No,
but it ain't his fault either, man.
Don't make excuse. No,
I'm trying to help.
No, fuck that.
I am trying to help Ion. I am.
No, y'all know how I roll. If it was me, y'all wouldn't let me slide neither. Fuck y'all. I'm not letting him
That is
slide.
beautiful.
It's not happening. Not only that, I'm gonna text him.
That is beautiful.
Over, and we're gonna have a fucking conversation about it. This shit's not over. Anyway,
amazing.
it's the fucking tune. Bad Bonus by the fantastic MC Track. Right here, coming out tomorrow. I hope you guys know who he is. He's been on the podcast for fucking months now. It's fucking dope. Here's the
Word. Some Joe Rogan outbreak. Hell yeah.
This is the Bad Bonus. This is the Bad Bonus. Yeah. Now, This is the high stakes main event. Live games play to win. Rise stakes, main intent to fly when we embrace the wind. Time fly, races spin around the track of a wind. Sailing to escape the grin, inhaling the vapor and the loser when his team is made. With dreams to the peak of a fumes and killer ambers mean a championic high life for high planes. It's everything it seems to be. So when the track is stronger, I rise right in the scenery. Rolling like a Harley Davidson on sunny days. Bright like casino lights when his money's made. Hitting like heavy rights when it ready rocks. Heavy yes, baseline out the hooper box.
Fire.
Baseline out the hooper box. This is the bad bonus. Bad bonus. I'm a bad man. Yeah. Devastated to all my points, it's exclamated. Celebrated when dedicated to renegated. Elevated from bottom faces, it's plain basics. Work my ways till I make it because I'm dedicated. Taking the breath and then let off all that is left of me. With local vocal projected because I go to can't believe. See, I'm bad to the bone when it ready rocks. Heavy yes, baseline out the hooper box. Rolling like a Harley Davidson on sunny days. Bright like casino lights when his money's made.
Call it Kanye.
Like heavy rights when it ready rocks. Heavy yes, baseline out the hooper box. This is the bad bonus. Bad. This is the bad bonus.
He made that with Marky, right? Who's the guy that made that?
Yeah. How long ago we talking? Paul SG, you're talking about. Yeah.
Roti And Poutine. Live and direct every Thursday, 10 p.m. 7 p.m. Pacific. With the Amani Ray and the Valiant. And the fucking track MC. Special guest of DJ Craze tonight. Dude.
Bad bonus.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That is my favorite track from you, bro.
Oh,
that's just fire. Yeah.
That's the proper remix coming out soon.
That shit made me want to go shake my wife in the other room.
Listen to it. It comes out tomorrow, so you'll be all over the place. If you pre-saved, whatever, however it works. I don't even know what pre-save is, but pre-save is the new thing on Spotify.
I just don't have any idea.
It's coming out tomorrow. It's too late. Just go fucking like the shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's Bad Bonus by
Bad
Track
Bonus.
MC. He's the guy.
Yeah, that shit was fucking fire.
Right here, this guy.
Fire business.
Oh, Craze. I forgot to tell you, man. I was searching through fucking, I don't know if you can still look at your screen.
Yeah.
So I was like looking for old photos of us, and I found this one.
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh shit, that looks. I was like, man, I remember that day so well. So, you know, I just thought I'd pull that up real quick. That was.
Where's the screen?
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, it's on OBS?
He put it up on the Twitch.
Oh, on Twitch. All right.
Oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, funny.
This guy.
I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you want to hear another funny story about my memory?
Let's do it.
All right, so fucking, I played this gig with Jeff in Fort Lauderdale, and they sent us the flyer for approval. And
that's
the flyer,
DJ Jazzy Jeff for you peons who don't hang out with famous people.
No, the God.
It's like back when I was hanging out with Kanye and DJ Jazzy Jeff.
No, so it was
I'm fucking with you guys.
the DJ God for like all of us. He's like the GOAT.
He's the GOAT for non-DJs too. Good.
Yeah. So they sent us the flyer for approval. And I was like, oh, this is shit. Right. And so I hit him up. Wait for the punchline. I hit him up and I was like, yo, what the fuck? This cover is horrible. And so Jeff starts laughing. And he just won't stop laughing to everything I'm saying. And I'm just like, yo, should we tell him to redo it? And he just keeps laughing. And I'm like, I'll hit him up and I'll tell him that I don't like it. And he just keeps laughing.
Oh, God.
Right? And so then I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So the flyer was a remake of a DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince cover.
Oh, shit.
I'm the MC, he's the DJ.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, well,
My
whatever.
memory-
It's no big deal. That legendary, iconic album. This is no big deal. It's just fucking.
No. And I had seen that before, but in my defense, I grew up in Miami, and I didn't grow up around that time of hip hop, so I don't know those records, and I don't know like Cash Money and
Literally his biggest album ever.
No, I know.
Very true.
Like ever.
Yo. And so like I even fucked up the name. So so yeah, that's how fucked up my memory is, bro. Like once like if it's not around me all the time, like I just forget it. And like
so good. So good. All right.
I'm gonna forget this happened tomorrow.
No, I know, I understand. I'll send you the link. It's cool. By the way,
You guys
I'm
are good.
Armani. We've been friends for a while now. We're in a chat together. It's cool.
I recognize your voice.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate it.
Do you though? Do you recognize it?
We are going to play this exclusive. It has been out for 20 minutes. Like I said, after we play this tune, we are going to say goodbye. And I advise you, especially as Americans, to be proud to go watch the fucking video. It's fucking sick. This one's
Yes.
called Ride the Wave from Bachelors of Science, Eco Zoo, and my man MC Dre. Some West Coast misses. The video is very LA, but
Shouts to the West Coast, Bachelors of Science.
I was actually given permission to play the video on the podcast, but we have learned in the past that shit glitches out, so why fucking bother? Go watch it in all its glory on YouTube. Here is the tune. This is called Ride the Wave. It's fucking fire.
Shouts to Dre.
Yeah, Semper Fi. Fire!
Going off that Bob Marley, surfing to the party. With my gang getting gnarly, flexing on the hater like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Going all out, trying to ball out till the day I meet my maker. I'm in my mode, back on my bullshit, fresh out the pool pit, straight to the pool pit. Jungle is cool, hit tsunami with the vibe. Down to do it for the drive, make 'em ride. Ride away.
Yo, I need this. I need this.
To the day I meet my maker. Do it for the drive, make 'em ride. With my gang, get
Can I just say I couldn't be more proud of Track and Dre right now? Jesus, boy.
Light it up for the stateside family. Light it up in the chat room.
Roti and Poutine, you're listening to Ride the Wave, Bachelors of Science, Eco Zoo, and with MC Dre. Fucking birds and shit. Who knew seagulls could sound so tough?
Yo, so I wanted to ask y'all a question. Like, I don't be really catching up on shit. I'm not on any Discords or fucking chat boards or whatever the fuck. Who's like popping right now in the US for like drum and bass? Because I've never even heard of Bachelors of Science. No disrespect.
Whoa.
I've never met them.
Yeah,
I've never met them. Sorry, or have I?
You've probably met them a lot. We've noticed today that you've
yeah, been around.
They might be downstairs at your house, like right this very second.
So they're from San Fran. Man. They're from San Fran.
They're from San Fran. From Stamina DMB crew.
Yeah, they're super dope.
Super they've been around for a minute for sure. This is
that shit was dope.
Seen them around. Yeah, they make good shit. Kamarian's making really fucking dope music right now.
I have his shit. Yes, I didn't know he was from the States.
Yeah, Justin Hawk's making fucking sick music right now.
Justin, shouts to Justin.
Justin Hawk?
Yeah.
He used to be Flight. FLITE.
Ah, okay.
Winslow's making some moves.
Winslow's making some
I got
moves.
some of his tunes.
You still got Will Miles. You still got Random Movement.
Random Movement is my I love that motherfucker.
Cyberposix might be in the chat. He's making fucking bangers.
Yeah.
All right, send me tunes, guys. Send me tunes, guys. Wait, how do you say that? Onglo? He's from the States?
Onglo is from States or Canada, is it?
No, he's from the States. Okay. He's from the States.
Shit, dope.
I don't know if is he still living in England right now? Does anyone know? I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
He was living there for a while.
All right.
There's some bubbling going on in the States, Craze.
Yeah. There's
some bubbling going on.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's what we was talking about package, and this is what we're trying to do now is give that presentation what it needs, and hopefully somewhere around the way invite people to a whole new sound of music that's been around them. You know what I mean? Sinistar, of course, is a.
I met him, yeah, but he doesn't just produce drum and bass, right? Like he's
catch up.
He does a lot of
really dope, like footwork jungle type shit. Like it was some different shit.
Yeah.
It was some
Mark, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, Mark Cloud just put out an album on Lossless. It's really great. It just came out, I think, last week, and I forget the name of it. Mark Cloud, Cloud with a K.
Okay, dope.
That's an interesting one. That's a really sweet album.
Hell yeah,
sick, man. So yeah, That's our show, man. We hit. There's 2 minutes to the 2.5 mark. That's when we normally stop. Anything else, y'all gotta pay.
Drop those tips.
Hey, no. Once again, Craze, man. We appreciate y'all hanging out, man.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Thank y'all. Yo, cheers.
Absolutely.
Appreciate every single person in the chat. Big up to MJ, ATL. Big up to Sugar Brat. Thank you for moderating and just being fucking awesome on a regular, even when this camera turns off. But hold tight, my man. Track, hold tight, Valiant, Craze, man. Thank you again. You just had another shot. I liked it. Make that fucking. I hate that I did that face. For everybody, reminds you as soon as you get out of here, please go listen to Track's new tune and go watch the video for Ride the Wave. Thank you for everybody coming out again. Thank you once again for the well wishes over the week. It is much appreciated. Seriously, it got dark for me there for a minute, and it was good to see everyone come out of that. So shout out to MJ, who's also going through some things, so prayers up for him.
Shout out to MJ.
Everybody around the world. Everybody going through something physically, everybody going through something mentally. Make sure you take care of that and make sure you take it seriously. Like we have said, if you need to reach out to us, hit us up in a DM. If you just need to talk, need somebody to vent to, whatever it is, but make sure that you take it seriously. We love you out here. Stay strong. You are powerful.
Yes.
We are unbreakable. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you next time.
Oh shit, rock the spot. Shout out.
Hey, what up, Rock? Were you in here the whole time?
I think I saw him before. Anyways,
either way, we hanging up.
Take care of your mental.
We love y'all, man. Roti and Poutine every Thursday. We out.